Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the West Africa Pro League Senior League Day 2, brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. And you guys know what time it is. You know what time it is. It is your boy Priest. And now this time around, I am going to be joined by my main man, Fire. How you doing, bro? How you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. I'm getting ready and excited to go because today is going to be crazy. I'm so back to thinking yesterday, but you guys had fun. But yeah, we're ready to see what the team have to offer today.
Yeah, fun is actually the right word. We had a lot of fun yesterday because we saw the guys from Fugitives Esport and Invictus do something I have not seen in a while. I don't think I've ever seen it, but these two teams won back-to-back chicken dinners, 2 apiece for them, and if you see the leaderboard, you would understand what yesterday meant. Yesterday Invictus and Fugitive Esports were just entirely clear of the lobby. Look at the point difference between the two of them and the rest of the other teams. Solo Esports in 3rd place, Fire. Now, Fire, that Active Gaming was here yesterday as well, and you can see their position on the leaderboard. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I do think that they can do better. I'm always, advocating for them to, perform a lot more than people actually see them do. I do think that they can be in that top 3 spot. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to see them, climb up on the leaderboard. But it's not just all about them. I mean, there's so many people within the leaderboard who have the capability to continue to climb and rise. But it's good to see Invictus and Fugitives, put in those huge points.
Yeah, it was actually very fun to see, their capabilities yesterday, because I did not expect that to happen. I saw a back-to-back chicken dinner, then I saw another back-to-back chicken dinner, and I saw consistency all around, between those teams. So it's all going to be very, very interesting today, to see the teams that are lower on the leaderboard, like Harsh Esports, Most Wanted. I really want to see something from them,
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how that one goes down between all of these guys. House Esports Most Wanted, all those guys, did put in, quite a great performance as we saw them in the junior league, struggle. But going into this senior league, now it's a totally different ball game. They're vying in for that top dollar. So we'll see how that one actually does play out for a lot of these teams as they're looking forward to boosting themselves all the way up to that $600, as you can see right there, Priest. I think that top 3 spot is what all these teams are definitely, licking their lips for right now.
Yeah, I was very impressed to see, the participation bonus, the junior league. So at least every team that has gotten to this stage, there's something in it for them, something to look forward to at the end of all of your, a little bit of your practice, getting better at the game. At least, Three Crown Esports have been the first to offer you that participation bonus to all 32 teams, from the junior league. Now that is, absolutely fantastic. So, but you are right, Fire. That big 600 USD, that first place, that's big money right there. I know how much that is in Naira. If you do all those things,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. These teams will be looking to continue to prove themselves, with that prize pool money. You could use it to, buy yourself new gadgets, new phones, or, just go party. It depends on whatever it is that you prioritize right here. But looking at the map right here, we're seeing a map moving all the way from that north central position all the way right down to Kameshki right there, leaving room for a lot of these teams to find their spots within that center of the map. We're seeing teams like Solo Esports heading directly towards that region around Milton Power. I do believe we also do have two squads. It is Afro and Hab, situated around that farm region. Not too far away from them is the boys from Extreme, and we're also seeing MOB heading directly towards that region around Pochinki.
Flight path heavily dependent. The teams are going to be heavily dependent on this flight path. It's going to be very, very, decisive for them how their rotations how their rotations are going to begin. Because it plays a crucial part because he went all the way from the south just towards the north east region there. You can see a whole lot of teams already getting into something. I believe Afro Esports dead center in that position. I think they are going to be the team that draws first blood here. And yes, first blood already towards the guys from Habitual Gaming. But they have actually been the ones to lose somewhat, Fire. I think that's Peachy. Peachy's out.
Okay, so I do believe, yes, like you said, Afro Esports having lost one of the players. It is Dead Fury who's got in that kill right there, and he's searching for the other guy, searching for Neo, who is just trying as much as possible to avoid the two players coming in from Habitual Gaming, looking for him right now. It is Shad and his teammate currently just eaching, looking for that shot right there from Afro Esports, and not a great way to start off the game, as you will be looking to grab those kills, but Neo is trying as much as possible to continue to evade their shots as he swims away from their position. But it doesn't look like the boys from Habitual are currently, holding back. They're just waiting and itching for that moment that he just comes down and they're able to take him out. But we'll see how that one goes down, as it is Habitual getting themselves one kill so far in this game, Priest.
Well, Habitual Gaming making it a habit of cooking. They literally just cooked one of the players from Afro Esports there, and not just any player, they are top fragger, the man that leads the charge. Actually chase this guy. If they do chase this guy, they chase this guy. No, they're chasing this dude. No way, Fire, that they're chasing this guy. No way they're chasing that guy from Afro Esports.
Oh my god. Psycho and his teammate currently on the loose. They're looking for him. They're trying as much as possible to get him taken out. They took a boat, drove it to that island. They're searching and searching for him. That is how much they want the kill. But if I was Neo thinking like, you know what, I'm definitely gonna get taken out at this point in time, I think the best situation would be just to go down to the water, get knocked and just bleed out. I think that would definitely be the message to his team, not to give, the kill to the opponent. Just make sure that you drown.
Yeah, and just like you called it, because that's exactly, what he did right there. He gets knocked by the water, and the elimination isn't going to go towards the guys from Habitual Gaming unless they spot him now, and they do spot him. Oh. Death Fury, seeing through the ops, catches Neo right in the water just as I caught it.
Absolutely hard work for that point. If there's ever a time when you'll be working extremely hard to grab those extra points, this boys right here did that, and they certainly deserve it, as they have taken out two players right there from Afro Esports, reduced them down to a two-man deficit. What a way to start off the game. You want to be taking out your, should I say, opponents quite early, or your rivals quite early, if you want to go ahead and win games like this.
You know, it's all about strategy and the pattern you want to play with your team. You know, eliminating opponents very early is a good, very very good way to start. You know, but then again, you
Yeah.
open yourself up to losing your own players. It's all a matter of the plan and how willing you are to execute. Habitual Gaming are on the lower spectrum of that leaderboard, but they're not on the lowest spectrum. They're just a little bit on the lower spectrum. So this is a very very good way to start for the guys from Habitual Gaming. 2 eliminations to boot phase one, and they didn't even just eliminate any team. They eliminated players from one of the strongest teams in the lobby. And they sent their top fragger back into the lobby, so they know for a fact that is a confidence booster. I know how it feels. You know how it feels, Fire, when the first elimination you get is one strong team like that. You say, "Oh, this, nothing can stop me now. If I'm eliminating these guys, then nobody reach now." That's exactly what the vibe is. I feel.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's always a huge confidence boost when you take out one of the best people within the lobby. It teams like this usually go off and do very well and climb up in this particular game, grab themselves some extra kills, because now they feel a little bit invincible, like they can take on anyone within the game. So that definitely is going to do a lot for their morale. But they gotta be careful. I do believe they should continue to play really smart, get as much kills as they can, and continue to boost themselves towards that center. Taking a look at the way the zone has now positioned itself within that center, there's a lot of space for the teams to work with. Priest, you've got Solo Esports, who is all the way at Milta Power, but they can move within those regions within Milta. You've got the boys from Fugitives, who have done quite well in yesterday's game as well, sitting themselves not too far away from Mansion. But let's turn our sights into this fight that we're about to see right now, coming in between the boys from Habitual Gaming right there and Extreme.
Habitual Gaming getting caught out again. Extreme being the occupants of their position this time around. You see Henry just charging his grenade. Hope he doesn't explode in his hand there. Has to be careful though, because they are in a split. The rest of their teammates are not necessarily here, but again, they do have very good positions. But then Extreme is one of those strong teams that can play in a 4v4 combat. And here we go again. Death Fury exposes himself to Choco there. He is going to be tagged up a little bit there, but he is going to be dropped instantaneously. The reply fire from Death Fury is going to do the job there, and he's going to be sent back into the lobby. Too sweet. Another one comes right through, drops yet another player. Ronnie, the next one to go down. Cycle just dealing damage all from on top of that hellfire. Again, he's going to try his best, and he is going to be knocked down by Josh.
The boys from Extreme trying as much as possible to fight hard in this one to keep themselves alive, and then Josh getting himself one knock. But it's down to just the last guy. It's down to just Sean, who is running straight to his defense, looking to see if he can take out the boys right there from Habitual, who are trying to get a revival to Death Fury at this particular point in time. They've not lost any man. They've got themselves 4 kills so far. But Sean, can he pull off something right here? Will this nade? Oh, I do believe that is a smoke. He's trying as much as possible to see if he can get that revive onto his player right now. But I do believe the best thing in these circumstances is just get out of this position, get out of this situation, try as much as possible and grab those extra points, and maybe, just maybe, that is what he's about to do. But he's in a 4v1 situation. Hop into the vehicle, get out of there is definitely the message from his IGO.
That for sure. He's been spotted though. Shots already started to head towards this vehicle. He's trying to escape from the ops, but fortunately he's trying to drive well enough to escape, but then he turns again. He's trying to take that. I hope you're not. You better see your jackpot through, my guy. Better see it through. Don't be, you ain't wearing no capes out here. You ain't Clark Kent. You ain't Clark Kent, bro.
Pride. Maybe in his mind, he's feeling hurt. It's like, maybe I'll just find like one scapegoat. Sometimes these players, think like that. They're thinking to themselves, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna find one scapegoat. But Priest, considering that we've had so much action so far in this game, we've still got 15 teams right here, and we've got 51 bodies.
Yeah, a whole lot of engagements have occurred, but none is actually a squad wipe. So every single team, that hops into this lobby is still here, very much present. And again, the play zone hasn't necessarily moved too harshly. We saw the play path from the south towards that northeast. So a whole lot of teams that did make all of their rotations, and getting their landing spots in that eastern and that northern area, like Harsh Esports, Afro Esports, Fowlplay and the rest of them already making their way now into this circle. Now, this is where a whole lot of engagements, I believe, is going to happen. And the team of the moment, one of the teams of the moment, rather, Invictus, getting a little taste of the guys from Royal Academy, I believe. Shot being set by Neo there, all the way towards the north for Titan. Is going to be knocked down.
All right, so Invictus getting themselves into a little bit of trouble here. They have one of the players currently down. They're coming up against the boys from Royal Academy, who came into this game with a 3-man squad. So right now, the deficit has been reduced to a 3-3 situation. What can Rogue Baby do? Also, lingering not too far away from them is also the boys from Vibe Gaming, but now putting up onto the scene right here. But Smoker able to get the knocks right there, as he does take down another player right there from Invictus. This is not looking too good for them, Priest, as they have now potentially lost 2 players in this game.
That was a horrible push from Invictus. You know, I expected a whole lot better from them. I mean, the idea of making a play like that is when the opponent climbs over the ridge, the cover fire from the 2 players behind will suffice. And here we go. Royal Academy now know for a fact that they have the numbers advantage. They're trying to push against the guys from Invictus. Gets the first look from Pintua, but there's Rogue Baby again, the MVP from yesterday. Gets the first look. Might just get the second. Peeks outside from the right-hand side there. And again, Smoker is trying to get an angle, trying to get an idea on where Rogue Baby is, but the grenade already cooking. That's a beautiful grenade that's cooking. It might be chefing there. Might drop a couple bodies though. Invictus, absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that nade looking quite dangerous right there from Rogue Baby. She just get that nade, that knock right there. Now turning the sights onto the other player right there, looking to see if he can get that knock. Oh, and it will be Rogue Baby with the wipe.
Oh my God, the MVP, Rogue Baby. Spam Baby in the chat, guys, because it's MVP season. It's Rogue Baby again, and I said it. Rogue Baby just too OP. You can't even lie. You can't make this up. The cover fire still from the initial engagements fire. Let's not forget that was actually very poor from Invictus. But here is Rogue Baby to the rescue once again. She is the one with the cape. She is the MVP. She is Clark Kent.
Absolutely amazing stuff right there coming in from Rogue Baby, as she does get a knock after knock and takes out a team right there. Now turning the sights onto the boys from Fowlplay. They're down to the last guy. They're down to just LB, and this is another squad we spoke about. We spoke about them early on. We did see them get 2 kills from Afro eSports, and now turning the sights onto the boys right there from Fowlplay. 2 of the players from Fowlplay have currently been lobbied. I'm not sure if they were by this team or they just crashed onto Harsh eSports, but we'll see how that one actually does go out, as Lone Wolf is currently bleeding out. LB is just waiting right there in this room for that one. I think he knows he's gone, Priest. I think he's just looking for that scapegoat that he'll take along with him.
I mean, it's the S12K, it's close quarters combat. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4. Here's the first one. What?
Scapegoat. We said it. Scapegoat. I said it. That's all he was waiting for. That's all he was looking for. He just wanted to take out one person with him. That's all he wanted. And that is, see, he was just in that position, man. It was just like, I'm going to take one person with me. And you mentioned something. You were like, he let him finish. If he had stayed, that would have been 2 knocks, Priest. That would have been, so it was either Lobby or 2 guys were going to go down on the floor. Man,
and you called it. That was some real scapegoating that I just saw. I mean, I've seen a lot in my day, but Jesus, man, he literally in front of his teammates, literally right there, he dropped him and he bodied him right there. I mean, the S12K, and you said he knows his S12K. He knew, where to point that crosshair, where the chest of those shells were going to connect to. Beautiful play coming in there from Fowlplay, but that is going to spell the end for them. Again, they started today with another, lackluster performance. I was expecting a whole lot more, but again, this North, I talked about this North, it is going to get caked up. It is going to be very, 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 very hot very soon. Goth eSports are the team to pull up to this area. I didn't see them yesterday. I think, I didn't see Goth eSports yesterday, actually. So I'm hoping that I'm going to see a whole lot more from them today. But Rogue Baby, the MVP, is still here.
Yes, yeah, we're still got about 13 teams right here in the lobby. Everyone looking to find a spot for of their own. Rage currently sitting down within that center. MOB not too far away from Goth Esports, like you just spoke about. We might see a skirmish going down between these two in a little bit, and also not too far away as well. We do have the boys from Most Wanted going into a skirmish right there with the boys from Hab, and it looks like Hab is continuing on the onslaught that they started from the beginning of the game with Deathfree and his boys getting a knock onto the boys right there from Most Wanted, and they're making their push into this building right now.
Habitual Gaming, beautiful play from them. Goth Esports, it looks like the plan here is to eliminate the guys from Men of Blood, and I believe, you know, there is a plan here, but then the numbers advantage again is not going to be the best. You know, it's not going to be the best for the guys from Goth Esports. Yulina is trying to get an angle there, just trying to find somewhere to get inside from. But you see 11. Is this the 11 I know? Is he in Men of Blood now? I didn't see him yesterday though.
I mean, it is possible. Anything is possible at this point in time. You never know. It is what it is. But anyways, we'll take a look at the way things are currently situated within this lobby right now. Habitual has taken out the boys from Most Wanted, send them back in right there in 12th place. We're down to 11 players within the lobby so far. Men of Blood and Goth Esports might be going toe-to-toe against each other as we have a 4v3 situation, and we'll see how that one actually does play out as one of the players from Habitual goes down to the play zone. We're now inching closer towards that stage 5.
You know, stage 5 circle, another very, very dangerous circle to be outside of this. You can see this play zone already, four phases deep, is already dealing damage to the guys from Habitual Gaming. So that tells you a lot. You know, a lot is going on around there, and the rotation from these teams that are playing most likely the edge of the circle have to be very, very spot on from this moment, because the circle at this point, you know, is very, very shrinking, very, very every second it shrinks, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But the guys from Middle but are holding a very, very fantastic position. You know, Habitual Gaming might just be pulling up way too close there. Death Fury is going to be tagged up just a little bit. They're driving through and they do park. Alright, this is a horrible place to park. That is the end for Habitual Gaming. Swift punishment for swift fire.
Oh, Habitual Gaming putting in the work in this particular game, grabbing himself. I do believe it was 8 eliminations, and now they have been taken out of the game right there. We're now down to 10 teams in this lobby. You do have the boys from MOB holding quite a comfortable position just at the edge of the line, but so far they've not managed to get themselves any kills right here in this particular one. We'll see how this one continues to play out, as we still got the boys from Afro in this game, as well as Solo sitting down with a full squad. No Rage have got a full squad to the name, as well as the boys from First Act 6. There's a lot of teams sitting up with full squads who haven't gotten themselves into any action yet. We'll see how that one plays out as they continue to build up. But my goodness, Priest, what do you think you're seeing here? It does seem like the teams who have kept themselves together are the teams that have just avoided fights for now.
Yeah, you know, and you're right about that. You know, it's the teams that have kept themselves together, and the teams that have gotten much eliminations. You know, First Arctics, Solo Esports, No Rage Esports, even the guys from Men of Blood as well. You can see they have fantastic positions, but no eliminations. You know, only Goth Esports have 2 eliminations, and they have sacrificed one of their players. So it says a lot about the play style. You know, but Afro Esports is also here. But they do not tally with those statistics because, you know, they've already lost 2 players without first engagement with Habitual Gaming, and Lenz is going to be confirmed. I said back into the lobby. Fugitive Esports catching a little bit of a wave there of the guys from Afro Esports, and it looks like, again, Fugitive this might just be the beginning of their Vawlence fire.
All right, Fugitives Esports, who are down to 3 men in this particular game, they still have got something to say about this particular game, as they do get one of the players back up in this particular one, and we'll see how that continues to play out as we are now moving into that stage 6. Very tight corners. Got Esports already has got themselves a spot within that zone. As you can see right here, there was some MOB trying to find themselves an edge within that line. That's what everyone is doing right here, Priest, for now. Just trying as much as possible to see if they can find themselves a good spot.
Yeah, Vibe Gaming, you know, they're looking very, very comfortable playing on top from that rear end position as well. But Men of Blood have a very, very sweet position right here that they're playing from the north of the hill. They're trying to hold, the high ground. It is working for them so far, but they've not been able to crack the code yet. They've not been able to get any elimination just yet, but they do have a very, very solid position. Then only the play zone can be their enemy right now. And the guys from Fugitive Esports have just taken that position in front of the guys from Men of Blood. Now Fugitive will have to be on the defensive, to keep that position just for themselves.
One of the disadvantages of finding yourself in that zone quite too early is that you then become the center of attention. You then become that player that everyone is looking to take out, and that's exactly what's happening to Goth Esports, as they have lost one or two of the players. They've moved right there towards that central spot, and that sometimes might not pay off for you. Sometimes you just want to play edge and stay away from the fights. But put it up onto that position right there, you do see Fugitives rushing in like better than them, but General is there to get that cover fire, but not before his teammate was taken out.
Unfortunate scenario there, but the default team did make the right play, just made it a little bit too early. There was no protection for him, but Normal Rays and Arrow, they're still there to keep the flag flying for the guys from Fugitive Esports so far. And they continue to hold out that position, just playing close to the Arrow, close to the chest, right there, because I believe there's sandwich between two teams, so the Vawlence is just continuing to move around. Goth Esports down to one player. It is going to be General, just trying to get them a couple of placement points, as the game continues to move forward and the prison continues to shrink all of these teams down a notch.
Absolutely amazing stuff right here that we're seeing as the boys right there from Solo, who still kept themselves a full squad. We talked about them during the junior stages, that they weren't able to live up to their expectations, but it does look like they might be able to perform quite well in this ending game. They haven't gotten themselves any elimination so far, but they've kept themselves with a full squad, and that definitely, as we do know, the competition does mean a lot. But they've got MOB to worry about still with a full squad. They've got the boys from No Rage as well, so we'll see how that one continues to play out for all of these teams. We're down to 6 teams, as every single team right here, Priest, is currently just edging in. As you can see, no one wants to go, no one wants to be in the line of sight of the rest of the teams. Everyone just wants to hold off, a great angle for now.
Yeah, so far you can see Men of Blood, they have the right idea of how they want to play the zone, actually. So far, them and the guys from No Rage Esports, I believe they have the same idea here, but Amani is going to be spotted out there, and he's surely going to be dropped if he's not careful enough to duck, behind cover. But the guys from Vibe are going to be coming in from that left-hand side, finally catching another body against the guys from Goth Esports, and do send it back into the lobby. And now we are down to 4 teams and 15 players in the cut. Again, Solo Esports has made it in here. Beautiful play coming in from them, but No Rage Esports finally getting a taste of the guys from Men of Blood.
Absolutely amazing stuff coming in right there from the boys from Men of Blood, as they are looking to continue to perform in this late stages of the game. They've got themselves 3 kills so far. They still got a full squad, so that doesn't matter. Bodies definitely will work for them, but they now have one of the players who's currently taken down. They've got several different teams who are putting the work right there around them, and just in the nick of time, storming in, it is your boy right there, Samurai, who takes down Amani. And this is where you then need everyone to light up the stage, as we're now seeing teams just come into the mix right here and continue to get that elimination after elimination in this final stages of the game.
So, yeah, final stages of the game, all the shots start to come out. As you can see, the guys from Solo Esports, they've brought the gas cooker. They've started to cook. Beautiful position from them. They have everything in their line of sight. Solo Esports have every single thing in their line of sight, but the guys from No Rage are not letting them rest, especially DG, because he spotted a couple of positions open, behind the guy from Solo Esports, and he started to take shots towards that direction. Again, he gets the confirmation. Samurai is going to be sent back into the lobby. No Rage Esports bagging yet another point for themselves, but Vibe, unfortunately here, they come in as a 3-man team. That is a disadvantage, because of the fact that if they had a complete squad, things would have looked very, very different for them at this moment.
All right, so Solo Esports moving towards a great spot within that zone as they have an edge not too far away from the boys on Vibe Esports, who currently have a three-man squad. So when it comes to buddies, they're pretty much even at this particular point in time between Rage, Vibe, and Solo. It is Men of Blood who is sitting down as the Trojan horse with just one player to this one. When it comes to the amount of kills, it's pretty much evenly distributed between all the teams right here. Well, 4 teams right here. It is 3 kills, 2 and 2. So right now, we don't know what team could win this one based on the amount of kills that they have so far. It's all down to very tiny little moments. You can see the frags and the grenades already beginning to let loose as they are waiting and itching for that one tiny moment to see who goes down.
Fantastic utility usage there. That is what I love to see. The bullets are not doing the trick. Don't worry, we're going to use Molotov cocktails and grenades to bring those points to the team. And that is the beautiful use of those utilities that I talked about. Solo Esports doing the Lord's work all the way from the north-hand side. They're trying to keep the guys from Vibe at bay. Trying not to expose their position because they know for a fact that Kenny has a very, very good position to work the chain from. But again, now 11, the last player for Men of Blood has finally been spotted out. Now it's 3 apiece. 3 players every single place you go. There's 9 players in the lobby right now, and all the 9 players are 3 teams apiece. It's been a while I saw something like this, but Solo Esports do still have the best chance so far, and I hope that they can utilize it, because there's so much going on here, Fire. There's too many distractions.
Yeah, too many distractions between the boys right there from Rage Esports and Solo coming in against the boys of Vibe Gaming. But look at that drop coming in from Deji, just utilizing the position he's at with that drop box and able to take down one of the players right there from Solo Esports, reducing them now to a 2-man deficit. They might be able to get that revive. We'll see how that one goes down, but everyone's just waiting for the zone to start to make its push. You can see Agin just sending his shots onto that position where Kenny is at, but he's not able to get that knock. And all of them are now trying the most possible to get into that zone right there. Ken is able to evade getting knocked down as he does move into a great position and a great spot within that zone. Will the snake do any damage, Priest, or will it just scrape around teammates? And it does look like that's what it is.
That's actually a good grenade, but I think Topsy had a different idea because of the terrain. You can see, he had the right call there. He knew what he wanted to do. But unfortunately, the terrain just didn't let him get, the upper hand on the guys from No Rage Esports there. But that's a beautiful play coming in. Solo have decided to take the engagement against the guys from Vibe Esports. Again, Doctor is going to be knocked down by bad boy teams, but the rest of the players from Solo Esports are taking the advance. One after the other, they'll be eliminated. One time for the guys from Vibe Gaming, as bad boy teams is going to get the last one. And Jabs is back into the lobby, and now it's Vibe versus the guys from No Rage Esports.
Absolutely lovely spread coming in between the boys right there from Vibe, but teams, my man, being the absolute storm in this particular one and getting kill after kill. But it will be the boys of No Rage Esports who will finally take that victory as they between Deji and Topsy, they do get themselves 6 eliminations and get the winner chicken dinner.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful from No Rage. I didn't think they would have it. But they made the right call. They made the right decision right there. They waited until Solo Esports took that engagement. It's really all a matter of, I talked about this yesterday as well. Fight who you should, not who you want, who you should. They made the right call there. They made the exact right call. They just waited. Solo Esports getting eliminated. Vibe Gaming with their health bars already low. Topsy was going to clutch right there. He did this yesterday as well, but it didn't pan out the same way. It was him and Deji, the last 2 left, and it was Erangel as well. I think it was game 1. I was expecting a play to come in from Topsy there, but it didn't come in. But now I think he learned, and he adapted, and he did the exact right thing. So big GGs to the guys from No Rage Esports. That is a good way to start the day. That's a fantastic way to start the day.
Amazing stuff coming in right there from No Rage Esports, and they do grab themselves those 6 eliminations and the winner chicken dinner in that game. At some point in time, I thought it was Vibe Gaming that was going to get that win. Team seemed quite close to clutching it out and taking out the last guy right there from No Rage Esports, but it would go to the boys from No Rage as they do win this particular one. We'll be taking a quick break after looking at the current stages of the map. Oh, we will be looking at the map at the leaderboard before we go on a break or when we come back?
Well, I don't know what the leaderboard is going to tell us, so far, because this game was not necessarily the most definitive. You didn't have a lot of double-digit numbers. You didn't have a whole lot of action going on. Nothing too spontaneous. There was no landslide victory. So I'm quite curious as to what it is going to say. Because
same here.
I think Active Gaming wasn't here. I don't think I saw them in this game. Yeah, so it's interesting though. I'm really interested in seeing what the leaderboard is going to tell us. I mean, there's a whole lot of teams there that did a lot of work, but Habitual Gaming just worked the hardest with the beginning. Getting the guys from Afro eSports, then getting the Extremists, then getting I think the guys from another team. I think there was another team that they caught a hold of. I think Goth eSports or something. Later down the line. I mean, Habitual Gaming were on fire, and I talked about them yesterday. They did not start like this yesterday, but they started to show some initiative toward the end of yesterday's games.
Absolutely amazing stuff coming in from them. We did see them be aggressive, but somehow while they were making their rotations, they did just find themselves in a great spot towards those later stages of the game. But coming in right there head to head between No Rage Esports and Vibe Gaming, you can see 6 to 5 kills between them as they did a lot of damage in that particular game. What do you have to say about this, Priest?
Well, first place team, second place team. I mean, similar play styles, similar rotational patterns. So, it was actually very interesting though, because I was curious as to see how this was going to translate towards their damages, and it's pretty much the same across the board. Habitual Gaming, the team that did go out there, very, very early on in 11th place, still managed to put significant damage, on the charts. And that is, what I love to see, especially coming in from Cycle there. He's the one that does the job, most of the job there. And Death Fury, beautiful play between those two teams. So I do love to watch them. Whenever they come together and maintain that synergy, play off of each other's balances. No Rage Esports still did manage to get some numbers up in there and the chicken dinner to boot. But Vibe Gaming, super aggressive team, much more aggressive, I would say, than the guys from No Rage Esports. But they do have similar rotational patterns. And you can tell from this graph too the damage. You can literally see the damage across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that this was a game that was evenly matched right there from the team with the most kills, 8 kills from Hab, all the way down to several different teams who had just 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You can see a lot of very close numbers. It's pretty much just 8, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. So it's evenly fought out between all of these teams, right down to even the teams who had just 1 kill each. Everyone was sharing the spoils right here.
Yeah, that's the real definition of sharing the spoils, because like I said, there is no what's the word? There's no disparity in the performances. I mean, take a look at that. 16 points, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And that says a lot. The violence that you would expect. It was evenly matched. Everyone got chopped breakfast, in this game, except the guys from Most Wanted and Afro Esports getting blocked out. Again, Most Wanted having a terrible, terrible game once more. I don't know what's going on with them. They are one of the strongest teams, the best Angolan team, I believe, and I don't know why they're having, so much trouble here. What do you think is the reason why?
I think several different teams have just stepped up their gameplay so far. Teams have been competing with the best of the best across Africa, and that definitely is going to show up when you then find yourself in a West African lobby. So while they are a strong team in the past, as we have seen, other guys are stepping it up because they've been able to battle with the African teams across board.
Yeah. And, the performance basis for most of these teams is actually very interesting to watch. But then we've seen Aranjo, so let's see how the rest of these teams are going to be performing in the next map. I'm looking forward to seeing how that is going to happen. So we're going to go on a short break, and by the time we return, ladies and gentlemen, it is a WAPL Day 2, Match 2. And gentlemen, it is the West African Pro League, the Senior League. You know, we're done with the Junior Leagues. This time for the seniors now. And this is day 2. Brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. It is your boy Priest, and I'm still here with my main man, Fire. Fire, you saw the Fire in that last game from Blue Ridge Esports and Vibe Gaming. How did he make you feel? Are you fired up? Do you want to see more?
Absolutely. I want to see the teams go crazy in the second game. I want to see them, you know, vie for that top spot on the leaderboard. We'll see how this one goes down. I do think that we're going to see teams switch it up. It felt like it was a warm-up game coming in from some of these guys. Invictus, you know, got themselves into, I mean, Rogue Baby got a squad wipe, so maybe coming in from that momentum, Invictus might be able to perform as they did in yesterday's game, as well as Fugitives. So we'll see how that one goes down. And see if all the teams can step it up.
I'm looking forward to see if someone else is going to do a back-to-back, maybe No Rage Esports. But they're not the strongest team in Sanhok, so yeah, it's very unlikely that they're going to do a back-to-back. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if there's going to be a back-to-back today. That would be insane if someone did a back-to-back today. I am very, very curious, you know, if that's going to be a possibility. I'm excited to see if that's going to happen. But then again, you know, it is Sanhok. A whole lot of violence is going to ensue. We saw this yesterday. I'm trying to remember the team that took the Sanhok game. I think it was still Invictus. Yes, they did take the Sanhok game. So hopefully, you know, I think, you know, this might just be another walk in the park for them.
We'll see how that one actually does play out as we'll be moving into the game in a moment's time. Guys, do make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe. Tell us who you're supporting as we look at the map so far right now. That map moving towards that central region within Sanhok, as we're now seeing teams just dispensing to the various regions right there with Painan, Bootcamp, Paradise, all within reach for various teams right here. Priest, if you're going to place your caster cost on any team, what team would that be? Who do you think will be able to grab a winner chicken dinner in this game?
I think Afro Esports, this should be easy pickings for them, you know, because they're not landing, they're not getting ambushed by any teams right out the gate. You know, and they are very, very aggressive. So all they have to do is maintain that aggression, you know, throughout the game. I think they're going to be they're going to score the highest points in the game. So I would say, you know, it's all about scoring the highest points. Chicken dinner or no chicken dinner, score the highest points. And the highest points right now is elimination station. So you have to station yourself for a couple of eliminations. You know, if you're going to play just like that. Playzone has set it up very nicely. You know, but then again, the first taste of violence is again Fugitive Esports and the guys from Fowlplay Fire. I wish you were here yesterday. I talked about this stubbornness. These guys are just too stubborn every single time. These two teams stubborn every time.
I mean, if you're looking to grab yourself those extra, you know, eliminations, you want to be doing it early where there's, you know, few players around you. But it does look like Arrow is pretty much prepared for this situation right here, as he's just crawling and looking to see if he can surprise the boys right there from Fowlplay. If he could get one knockdown onto either LB or Lone Wolf, then he could open up this fight for the rest of his teammates to come in and just finish up the clutching the rest of the players.
Well, you know, this was similar to the play that the guys from Fugitive Esports did make it yesterday, you know, and they came out very, very successful against guys from Fowlplay without losing a single player, you know. And again, it is all a matter of how, you know, how willing are you to see this through? How are you ready? How much are you willing to sacrifice? That is the real question every single time. And you can see that Arrow has a beautiful position, you know, right off the course, you know, and he's not utilizing it just yet because he's a little slightly out of reach. You know, I think he's going to make the right call soon. But again, I think Fowlplay have actually are they navigating out of Cow? It looks like Fowlplay is being chased out of their landing spot by Fugitive Esports Fire.
It does look like they're deciding not to get themselves into an early skirmish in this one and be a lot smarter about it and just move away, take the loot as much as they can and just move away from that situation. One of the things that could have happened right there is they might have been, you know, or one of the players might have heard a player coming in from behind them and just decided, hey, you know what, it's not worth it. We're not really sure how many players are behind us, and it is better for us not to get surprised. It's better not to get surprised in a situation like that and just move on into that zone. With that zone shifting towards the central position, it does look like the boys in Fowlplay might have run away from one trouble and into another with the boys right there from MOB.
This is what happens when there is no plan, you know. The guys from Fowlplay did not plan this. You know, they have a strategy, but they're not sticking to it. That is the danger of not having a plan. I mean, the plan is to land at Cowl. That is the idea. That is the structure of Fowlplay, of the Fowlplay playing style. You know, but now they've landed in Cowl and they decided to run away from Cowl now. And after running away, they run into another team that they totally forgot about. You know, this is what happens in scenarios like this when something that you do not execute on a day-to-day basis becomes the norm for you. Now, Fowlplay are in serious trouble because they've got enemies north of their position, south of their position, even west of their position. And that's what we got about the guys from Fugitive Esports. They might just decide to start pulling off from Cowl now, and you know, and Fowlplay are going to get squeezed inside.
Oh, it's a very tough one. Speaking about a squeeze right here, you can see the boys from MOB just looking for that opportunity to just see if they can get themselves one knock or another knock right there onto the boys from Fowlplay. But Shirk and the rest of the teammates are just circling around, looking to provide as much cover as they can. But it's all down to just who gets that next knock, who makes that push and gets that first elimination between these two teams. I do love the position that Fowlplay is currently holding. It's a very defensive position as they are pretty much just spread out, and you know, the boys from MOB will definitely be telling themselves, you know what, it's not worth the risk to make that full push onto right there the boys from, you know, Fowlplay with Lone Wolf and LB in that region, because they do have some cover far away from them. But we'll see how this one continues to play out as several different teams are already beginning to get into the fight, as we can see right there on the kill feed.
You know, Salok brings out the violence in you, and that is the plan right here. Violence is the name of the game. A couple of bodies starting to drop. I believe that is Romani is going to be knocked down, you know, and the guys from Solo Esports are taking this one at a time, but beautiful positioning from them. But equally beautiful position from the guys from No Rage Esports. They're already back up to a 4-man team, so the numbers advantage is looking like it's going to tip just in their favor. But again, it is Sanok. Everybody is prone. You have to be prone to see. If you stand up, you can't see much of anything. All you have to do is prone, and that is the strategy. But you can't out-prone DG. The MVP is going to spot you, and he does spot Floyd immediately, drops him down, and he might just send him back into the lobby in due time. Beautiful play coming in from the guys from No Rage Esports. But here comes in Diags as well. He does have the off angle, might just work wonders for him. But something must be happening to his controls, because
I'm not sure what it is. It did seem like at that particular moment he had the shorts, but sometimes you just find yourself in a situation where your device is probably acting up, and it does look like that probably is this key situation. It felt like one of those problems you have when your gyro begins to malfunction and it's just moving down. That seemed like the situation right there. But anyways, that does leave them in a handicap situation, as right now it is Doctor who is left to face the entire team all on his own as he's sending them shots their way. Sometimes you might be thinking, hey, pull away from this fight, Priest, or you know, just stay in this particular one. But it's Sandhawk. Where do you go as it's such a small map?
Finally, I think Indiax has gotten his controls in order. I think the guys from First Arctics pulling up again inside of the feed right there. Oh, that's a beautiful return fire from top G. And now that is going to be Solo Esports down to their last leg, the last player. It is going to be Doctor one more time. I saw this yesterday, but he's been spotted. A couple of shots being sent his way again. No Rage Esports are trying to chase them down, get 4 eliminations, and continue the violence as it progresses. And that is the beauty of it. But now Extreme pulls up to the scene. It's Sean. He gets a couple of ideas there. He sees that one of the players from No Rage Esports pulls up as well, tries to send him back into the lobby, but it doesn't work. M762, unfortunately, he doesn't control the recoil score just as well, but Solo are going to be heading out in the background. All thanks to Top C, but Vawlence continues from Extreme. They're trying to get an angle there on Armani. Armani pulls her out from the corner there. Again, beautiful 1v1 abilities there. CQC at its finest, but now Armani is going to pop out and it's going to be dropped fire. I mean, look at the trades coming in.
Man, absolutely amazing work coming in from these teams. As you can see them just going toe-to-toe against each other right there. The boys from Rage might be able to get the revive onto their teammate Amani, but they're in a very tough skirmish right here as Choco hops into his vehicle. He's making that rotation. Rooney also looking to see if he can get the confirmation or get the knock onto some other teams, but Top G still holding his own right here in this particular fight, seeing if he can save his teammate right there, Amani, but it's looking like very slim margins for him to be able to pull that one off right there. The boys from No Rage are now down to just 2 men. You can see the shots being let loose onto that position where Choco is at Top G, trying as much as possible to see if he can get the shots, but none of them just seems to be connecting so far right now. Can he get a revive onto Amani? It does seem like he might be able to pull that off right there. As you can see, Top C is trying as much as possible to throw in them nades and keep the boys right there from Extreme at bay.
Extreme. That's a beautiful play coming from Extreme, and I know that they do love the buggy play. They get the knock and the buggy comes out almost immediately, but trade for trade. Once again, No Rage Esports getting a big chunk of the guys from Extreme, but beautiful play. The rotation is always going to be squeezed. Amani is in a 1v3 here. Is he going to take out the guys from Extreme by himself? No, he's going to be tagged up, but the cover fire is there, but no, it's not going to work. Josh is going to put a stop to it, and he is going to send the guys from No Rage Esports back into the lobby, but they did do a fantastic job of getting 5 eliminations.
Absolutely great stuff coming in right there from all of these guys as they continue to put in the work in this particular game. Extreme Rooney and the boys getting themselves 4 kills. Well, I do believe that's 4 kills so far in this particular game, and they're looking quite strong so far as they will be vying in for that top spot within the zone. But when you do get yourself into fights, Priest, most of the times you gotta sacrifice one to the gods, you know, just so that he can grant you those eliminations, and that's exactly what's happened to the boys right there from Extreme.
You know, exactly. It's all about persistency. You know, you have to be persistent. I know if persistence is a word. I know consistency is a word. And I know consistency is a word. And I know persistence is a word. But I don't know if there's a word called persistency. But if it's not, I just mean it. Yeah. We don't add now we the run nobody is having pass us. Now we the create Oxford. But most wanted, finally, 2 eliminations fire. I believe this is the best game they've had today. In fact, in the whole league. I mean, they got themselves 2 eliminations in the game, and somehow they're not necessarily too far away from the place. Only about 1,000 meters out. But then, why are they still hanging around these parts? You know, take the engagement against the guys from Royal Academy. Take the engagement, eliminate them. You know, send them back into the lobby. Get your points up. Get your numbers up. This is not what you want. You want those points. Go for those points. You got 2 eliminations already. Why not just keep it a buck? Continue and put the pressure on.
I think sometimes it's all down to nerves around these guys. You know, they're not. Sometimes this doesn't work for you. I'm not sure if he has the rest of his teammates around him. It does look like it doesn't, because his teammates were already making that push towards the zone. Lilies is not too close to him. Now they're trying to provide him that support, so he's backing off a little bit, trying as much as possible to create some distance between him and right there the squad pushing onto him. So that exactly is the plan. And his teammates are probably wondering to themselves, hey, should we make that push? There's also foul play within that vicinity, so it's a very tough one for them. So Wandorf has got to be really careful on making this push.
Ooh, first one goes down. Beautiful use of the terrain there by Wandorf, but again he's going to be spotted immediately. But the cover fire is going to do the trick. But spotted again, going to be dropped by the guys from Fowlplay. Somehow, the guys from Most Wanted are using the play zone to their advantage, just gatekeeping the rest of those teams. But let's not forget, there's still too many bodies around. They have to maintain that energy. And Ness trying to take a 1v1 against the guys from Fugitive Esports. He gets the first one. Escobar goes down, and he is going to get the second. Beautiful play from Ness right there, as he sends the guys from Fugitive back into the lobby in 13th place with no eliminations. Fugitive slinking down on the leaderboards with every single game that they do not participate properly in. Active Gaming with just a two-man team already got two points for themselves, and it looked like they might just decide to take this chicken dinner with a two-man squad.
Yeah, we've seen that happen sometimes. You know, it's all down to you know, whenever you have a two-man squad, it's always relevant in that beginning. But you know, as you continue to move into maybe five teams left, 6 teams left, then a two-man squad doesn't really look like it's that smaller anymore. So we'll see how that one continues to progress for them, as we now still have about 12 teams right here within this zone. We're now moving on to that 4th stage, and everyone's trying as much as possible to get themselves into a good spot within that zone, as we're still seeing the boys from Rack and Goth fight out in a skirmish outside that zone. Most Wanted is trying to make that rotation as well, but the zone is putting in the hurt on them, and they're rotating towards that region where Active Gaming is currently situated. I do believe they've lost one of the players, so it might be a 2v3 situation between them and the boys from Active Gaming. We'll see how that one does work out. Afro Esports and Hash are sitting in Painan as the zone shifts. Painan is somehow within that edge, so we might see something between them as well.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how the play zone is going to dictate the rest of the plays, you know, coming in from the rest of these teams. But I am very impressed, finally, by Most Wanted. You know, they finally got a couple of points for themselves. You know, something to take home at least. You know, 4 points, that is good. That's good numbers. At least it is going to skill them just a little bit on that leaderboard. But again, Habitual Gaming is still here. One of I think the best team in the last game. I think it got about 8 eliminations in the Rancho, so that is the trick right there. But I think they are just running into the guys from Vibe here, and I don't know if they're aware that Vibe is in this building. I think they started to hear the footsteps. They started to cook right there. Death Fury leading the charge. Again, the guys from Vibe trying to keep them at bay. Grenades already started to cook outside. But Vibe, Iceman is behind. Just trying to use that element of surprise when you can surprise Death Fury as he chunks the grenade towards that position. But I don't think it's going to drop him. Kenny as well, charging his own grenade. You can hear the pings pinning left, right, center. But that's a beautiful grenade again. Beautiful grenade from Death Fury. Gets the first knock onto the guys from Vibe Gaming. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful one from Death Fury. Kenny is the victim of that grenade, and now is the opportunity for Bad Boy teams to get that revive. But is this going to work?
Man, they've got to be careful. I know that they're on the front foot for now, but I'm never a fan of fighting outside the zone. But it does look like that is the decision that they're putting up and they're willing to make. Their Fury right here coming up against a player right there, the last player from Vibe Gaming, as it does take him out right in this particular one. Habitual coming up with a couple of eliminations right there, as they still have got a full-man squad, considering they're able to get shot back up in this one and continue to rotate into that zone. But they lost a couple of players to the play zone in the previous game, and it does look like they might be repeating that same mistake. Priest, do you advise taking on this kind of fights outside the play zone? Is it inevitable, as they've got several different teams right there in front of them while they will be trying to rotate in?
I feel plays like that are more, you know, no risk, no reward scenarios. I feel that's what more of it is, because they calculate. They must have calculated, say, okay, if we go now, we might, you know, get into the zone and then get ambushed. But we know that there's ops right here. There's a chance for us to get some points if we fight these ops. Yes, the zone is coming. But, you know, if we fight this ops, there's a chance that we get some points. But then there's also a chance that we get no points because we're heading into the play zone and, you know, there's teams already inside of the play zone. So let us take the risk, you know, of taking these ops out first. We have a better position outside of the zone, yes, but we do not have any position inside of the play zone. But then we are going to, you know, no risk, no reward. So we are going to risk it and try to get some points, and that is going to play out very, very well for Habitual Gaming. But you're right, you know, they are going to be at the mercy of the play zone very, very soon, if not right now. You know, Zone 5 is not to be played around with. You know, that's just what we're talking about.
Absolutely amazing stuff right there. As we are seeing eliminations upon elimination at several different corners. One of the players right there from Active Gaming getting taken down. It was lobbied or he was knocked down by one of the players right there from Most Wanted. But it does look like foul play. We're within the same vicinity as well, and they were able to send him back into the lobby. We're also seeing Afro eSports coming into a bit of that mix right there, as they do get one of the players taken down. It is fight after fight at every single corner. Harsh Soldier trying as much as possible to stay within the game, but Daddy will get sent back into the lobby. Even right there on the kill field, we're seeing Invictus Rogue Baby go down, who was a major stumbling block right there in the previous game for several different teams. As she got that MVP knocks or the crazy knocks that she took out one full team in the previous game. So we're down to 10 teams in this one. Priest, who do you think is going to grab home this winner chicken dinner as we are currently moving towards that 6th stage?
Well, fantastic game coming in from the team so far. Habitual Gaming finally succumbing to the play zone as expected. They did hold out very long enough, and I think they got a couple of points on their way out. I believe 4 eliminations. So that was the cost, for them. They chose the points over everything else. The foul play finally getting a hang of the violence as they send shots after shots towards the guys from Invictus. They drop 3 and they might just be dropping the last one, but no, Goth is going to get the last piece of Invictus, I believe. But again, the shot starting to ring outside. Lens now the next victim. Neo again the next victim. Playzone claiming yet another soul. Playzone up to about 20 KD at this point because the guys from Royal Academy are still trying to play from the north, trying to get an angle there. But pin 2 are the last one for Invictus, trying to keep the team at bay, trying to keep the rest of the guys from both esports from spotting his position. But foul play, finally the guys from Fowlplay have gotten their foot in the door with 4 eliminations and a complete team. Now this is what you want. This is where you want to be. And the shots continue to ring out, but General somehow sends Invictus back into the lobby.
And Invictus not having quite a great day in this particular one, as they do find themselves taken out right there, I do believe, in 7th spot. Now we're turning our sights onto other teams who have been showing that they have a lot to perform and to show in this particular game. As we do see the boys from MOB pulling up into that zone. They're trying as much as possible to edge it out into that great spot. They've got the boys from Extreme right there in front of them. The zone's pretty much just moving and inching closer and closer to them, but they've got to crash this position where the boys from Extreme are currently situated if they will be looking to get a chance in that final circle. So they've got to take out several different teams around them, and that's exactly what it is. As you see them crashing onto this building and putting in the work to get themselves into that 3rd spot of the zone.
Fantastic play coming in from the guys from Men of Blood. That's a beautiful rotation, managing somehow to get inside of the play zone. 3 players, that's fantastic stuff coming in from Men of Blood. But then Fowlplay have actually set their sights on the guys from Royal Academy. Grenade after grenade, bullet after bullet. PlayStation 5 leading the charge. He wants to send them back into the lobby. He wants to end the game. He switches to the DBS. He's trying to take them 1 versus 2. All left to PlayStation 5. DBS in hand, trying to do the damage. He jumps his shots. That's a beautiful jump shot right there. But it's not the one that's going to do the damage. It is Shy that's going to be the thorn in their side. But no, 11 is the one that's the thorn in their side, actually. Finally, Sports LB drops him down. Again, confirmation will come through. Beautiful play from the guys from Men of Blood. Somehow Men of Blood have actually maintained that position just inside those compounds, just inside those houses, and they have the guys from Fowlplay within their sights. This is their game to win, and it is surely a chicken dinner for Men of Blood. All they have to do is maintain their position.
Looking at right out the boys from Fowlplay quite yet, because you can see that they've got a little bit of that edge within that particular zone, and it may work out for them. But the problem is they might not have the cover. If Lone Wolf can take out 11, he might be the stumbling block for them in grabbing that winner with a chicken dinner. They might be able to open things out and just rotate from that left-hand side into those buildings right there. But it's all down to how who gets the next knock in this particular game and who grabs that get that next eliminations. If the boys from Fowlplay do get that elimination, then it does turn things around. 11 has got to be that stumbling block for them. As you can see Lone Wolf making that move. He pushes onto that zone and boom, down goes Lone Wolf. And this is where things now begin to get dangerous. But it is an exchange on both sides, and Priest, who's gonna grab this one, man?
Men of Blood. I mean, I thought they had it in the bag, but now that's a beautiful rotation coming in from the guys from Fowlplay, but no, it is going to be cut short by 11 there. He is the thorn in their side, but then Men of Blood are already down one player, but the revive is for sure going to come through unless some miraculous use of utilities. The 11 finally exposes himself, and he is going to be spotted by the nice PlayStation 5. Is he going to take the engagement? But 11 is just stalling him, trying to get that revive off. I know that's why 11 is stalling, so that it will become a 3 versus 1, and now it is a 3 versus 1. He pops it a little bit to the left-hand side, and he is going to get tagged up. Beautiful play, but this is not going to work from PlayStation 5. He is going to take plays on damage. The jump shot isn't going to work this time around. It is Men of Blood that take that chicken dinner with 10 eliminations.
Absolutely amazing stuff coming in from the boys from Men of Blood, as they do get themselves 10 eliminations as well as grabbing the winner chicken dinner. But that was not the entire story, as they were able to find themselves in a good spot within those buildings and continue to push in towards that final circle. I do believe it was down to that final moment where they pushed the boys from Extreme, who were in that position, took over that spot, and that's how they were able to grab that chicken dinner.
I mean, it is all about being proactive, making the right calls at the right time, doing exactly what you should when you should do it. I saw the rotation, and I talked about it. The moment it was done, the moment I saw 11 hop into that pickup and drive all the way towards those buildings that were, occupied by Team Extreme, and then eliminating the guys from Team Extreme in one fell swoop. Team Extreme getting caught out on two fronts between the guys from Fowlplay and Men of Blood. Now that is what happened exactly at that moment, and all they had to do was maintain the split. They had 2 people in front. They had 11 in front of them, Magic, I believe, and they were holding that position, just trying to keep the guys from the Extreme from getting the angles. And Fowlplay was also on the other end doing this exact same thing. So it is the danger of getting into a coveted position too early. That is what happened to Team Extreme right there. They just got there way too early, but it was a good call from them. That was a beautiful position for them to have, that was a beautiful position for them to have. I can't even lie, but then, it was fantastic. I enjoyed watching every single bit of that. The moment the rotation was made, I knew it. I said, yep, Men of God have this one in the bag for sure. But I did love the push, that the guys from Fowlplay made towards that building. The fact that they were able to actually get one of the players, super impressive, super brilliant play coming in from the guys, from Fowlplay in that moment. But is this our Shy is the MVP for the game?
Man, sometimes you just find yourself in the right spot, but probably not at the right time. I do feel like that was the situation coming in right there from the boys from Extreme. They just found themselves in a situation where they were in the right spot within that particular zone, but sometimes everyone's just looking at you. You're getting the third-party shots coming in from several different corners. Fowlplay taking on shots onto them, as well as the boys from Men of Blood. So you never know. Never know if they had defended it better, they might have gone on to grab that winner chicken dinner, but we'll see how this one actually does play out for them. I'm curious to see what this means in the overall leaderboard so far. It is very hard to predict, but obviously this is going to boost the boys from Men of Blood all the way up.
Yeah, fantastic play coming from Men of Blood though, the chicken dinner to boot, double-digit eliminations. But then let's not forget about Fowlplay. Like I said earlier, this is the game they picked up heavily. And why did they pick up? They changed the strategy. They changed the strategy. That is what they did. They landed a cow. They saw that it wasn't going to work. They knew for a fact that there was a chance that they would lose players to Fugitive Esports. So what did they do? They jumper. They run from there, and that was the right call. They made the right call, and it paid off. It's not every time you jackpot from your landing spot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should be jackpotting from your landing spot every time. Fowlplay, please, still give us Vawlence from the beginning. You can't please everyone. Now I've changed the mouth. You understand? I've changed map now. Go back to your landing spot and fight Fugitive Esports, my guy. Don't run. I don't know why you guys are running. You know, I mean, damage across the board is fantastic, though. You know, Extreme Violence did pitch in there. You know, beautiful play coming in, and somehow No Rage Esports as well also did pitch in. You know, and that is going to tell you a lot. You know, I mean, the graph says it all. Again, we're talking about balance across the board. Fire numbers are up everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see all the way right down to even the boys from HD getting themselves, you know, those 4 eliminations, as well as Active Gaming, who came in as a 2-man squad. So you can see all of these guys are constantly just grabbing on those kills right there from that first position. MOB, who got 13 kills, all the way down to even that 13th position. You can see it's 4 kills each. So everyone is being absolutely crazy in this lobby so far. So we'll see how that one continues to build up for these teams, as we will be taking a quick break and back right here for some more action.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, y'all, welcome back to the West African Pro League. It is the Senior League Day 2, and we've got some action still lined in store for you. Well, we'll be heading into our third lap of the evening, and again, violence is going to continue. You know, Fire will join us later on, a couple of minutes in. But, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how Vikendi is going to be panning out for the rest of these teams. I am super excited, though, to see what kind of strategies are going to be adopted today. You know, I'm curious. I'm super curious. But then again, you know, it is a matter of play style. It is a matter of planning. You know, some guys from Men of Blood stepped into the limelight and claimed their first chicken dinner of the league. You know, Invictus and Fugitive Esports haven't been able to step up to the plate today. So I'm guessing it was a fluke thing. I guess it was just like one hit wonder. I mean, I've not seen Invictus today. I haven't seen Fugitive Esports today. I did see, the only time I did see Fugitive Esports is when Anes from Active Gaming won to them. That was what I saw there. You know, so I don't know what's going on. I'm expecting more. I'm expecting better. You know, I'm a big fan of Fugitive Esports and a huge fan of Invictus and World Baby. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing if there's some action, you know, they're going to give us in these last two games. Vikendi, very tricky map, you know. But, you know, it's all about strategy. Stick to your strategy, stick to your plan. Again, Fowlplay, don't run. Fowlplay, don't run. Stop running from your landing spot. Because I said you should switch things up. I didn't mean run away from your landing position. You know, you guys should still work on that. But then again, listening to my advice pays off, because you can see they ran away from Cow because of Fugitive Esports. And, you know, Fugitive Esports took their curse from Cow and didn't, you know, get enough points in the last game. So, you know, I mean, Priest, they see, I do the same stuff, you know, and I do be saying it. So, you know, if you need to listen. You guys need to listen to whatever it is I'm saying, because this playing path is very shiesty. From the north, that's Zababa, all the way to Vilhar. Now, you know, you can't predict. You can never ever predict. You can never predict. What's it called? You can't do. It is so tricky. You know, we are seeing a north to a west playing path, and now we're going to see maybe the place is probably going to be somewhere lingering in the southeast. You know, a whole lot of teams might not even get to Winery, and Winery is a very good position to have. You know, that southern area, a whole lot of access route, a whole lot of vehicles. Okay, not too bad. But then again, beautiful position for Fowlplays or in creatures. I mean, you know, but then nobody is in port. I personally do like to go to port. You know, open area. You know, you can see the ops when they're trying to ambush you. You know, the ops can't really hide, you know, that much. But then again, people just love to hide. And I think violence has already started to ensue somewhere in coal mines, Harsh Esports, and Active Gaming. I think they are getting to something. Their first body from Vibe, and they do catch one of the guys from Active Gaming. Active Gaming somehow coming in with a two-man team. This is how you fail to qualify for events like this. You know, when stuff like this happens, you know, you're getting called out. Now this my guy Skinny is caught in a 1 versus 4. Why is he in a 1 versus 4? Because they did come in as a two-man team, and for a fact, you know, the guys from Vibe already have enough intel to work with. They're just waiting for Skinny to give them the okay, and they will send bullets in his general direction. Active Gaming have not necessarily been having the best day today. You know, they did get some points in the stand-up game, but you know, they didn't. I don't even think they showed up in the first game of the evening. You know, so the points that they've been able to get today have not been. I won't call them significant. You know, not necessarily the most significant, you know, points so far. But you know, kudos to them for even for showing up in the last game and getting some points. But it's not looking too good for Skinny though. I think he is going to get called out the moment he decides to move up his position. But then again, Vibe has to make a call, and that is to get some loot, because I know for a fact that they are underlooted, heavily underlooted at this time. You know, so I think the wise choice would be to, you know, get some engagements going when it comes to the loot box. I think Invictus finally, you know, Invictus finally appearing on the left side of the feed, getting their first body against the guys from, you know, Royal Academy. Invictus up 2 points already. And it looks like they want to start Vikendi with a bang. But they didn't win Vikendi yesterday, but Rogue Baby did have a hell of a game there, playing fantastic free-man and support roles. Again, Active Gaming still with their last surviving player. It might just be the first team to be sent back into the lobby. Bad Boy Timps is in that northern position, rotating around. But anyone who does make the mistake of stumbling into Skinny here is definitely going to be sent back into the lobby. But fortunately for Skinny, the guys from Vibe Gaming are still heading north, heading farther away. Or not, actually. Iceman is just going to be hopping inside that building there, holding out. But a whole lot of teams, and there's a whole lot of teams, and there's a whole lot of time actually to make some rotations, inside of the zone right there. But then Invictus still trying to snuff out whatever is left of the guys from Royal Academy. Royal Academy did have a decent couple of games yesterday, but nothing too fancy. And they're not doing their possible best to keep that energy from yesterday, unfortunately. They've already lost two players, they're 2 players down, and it looks like Invictus is creeping up on them one after the other, inspecting and sweeping every single floor. You can see Rogue Baby playing behind, and that is what you call the free-man role. She is covering the bases of all of the players on the team, but she doesn't know that nobody is covering her. That's the danger of playing the free-man role. You are not safe most of the time. And now Fowlplay getting something dealt towards them once again. I believe it is guys from Habitual Gaming catching yet another body. It is Death Fury and Shad leading the charge again, trying to get a little taste of the guys from Fowlplay. PlayStation 5 is going to be rotating from the right-hand side. And Guerrero does hear his footsteps and he peeks in just a little bit closer, but LB has been heard and he might just take the 2 versus 1. He gets the first one, but is he going to get the second one? It doesn't work this time around, and he does get the first knock, but is he going to... Oh no, LB does the job, but Shad is there to the rescue, gets the first 2 knocks, and he might just do the trick again. Hops outside from the right-hand side. PlayStation 5 with the DBS. Sends Shad immediately to the ground. Habitual Gaming under fire from Fowlplay right now and again. Cover fire from Lone Wolf. The split and the squeeze. Beautiful play from Fowlplay. They did sacrifice one player, but it was worth the cost. They send Habitual Gaming back into the lobby. Habitual Gaming is actually the first team to head back into the lobby. And Vibe Gaming still have... I said Vibe Gaming. Wait, what's that team? Active Gaming still have 1 player up. Fantastic play from Fowlplay. I mean, beautiful stuff. That's the beauty of... But then again, ladies and gentlemen, I think Fire is here to join us. I think... You just missed that insane fight, Fire. Okay. And I think I'm having some technicalities of my own, but I think they've been sorted. Invictus still looking very strong with 2 eliminations to boot for themselves. And it looks like there's a chance for them to just hold this position. I think this is Goroka a little bit centered up, so the rotation is not the #1 priority just now, at least for now. All they have to do is secure some vehicles. Goroka isn't necessarily known for having abundant vehicles. He does have a lot of utilities though. You see Pintua sweeping floor by floor. The guys from Royal Academy are still hanging out, in the attic of that building, and anyone who just stumbles into that area is going to be knocked off course, that is for sure. Royal Academy, I don't know how my reservations about this team actually dwells right through, because I've seen them perform significantly with less than with more. I think they're one of those teams that know how to handle pressure very well if they get caught out early in the game. All those things that you don't necessarily always have to plan for that happen to you, as the game progresses. But there always has to be a plan. There always has to be something to follow through on, And Afro eSports getting a taste of the guys from Fugitive eSports this time around. Lens is the one that is victorious in that engagement, but D14 is there, and he might just decide to take the engagement against the guys from Fugitive eSports, or he is against guys from Afro eSports, but it is going to Jaffa. I think Jaffa is the course of action right there, as default team is going to hop on the snowmobile and run for his dear life. Afro eSports looking very, very comfortable, snatching 2 eliminations away from the guys from Fugitive Esports. Again, Fugitive Esports getting caught out. That is not good. It is not nice. Apologies, guys. I think I ran into a little bit of some technicalities. I'm not sure what's going on my end. I think it's my internet. Unfortunately, something is going on, but I think it's been fixed. So I think we're good to go. Norwich Esports rotating around. They are a very rotation centric team, though. You know, Norwich Esports. They're very, very capable, very fond of rotating. They do know how to hold out those rotating positions, you know, for a significant amount of time. But you can tell, you know, the addition of 11 to the guys from Men of Blood is a welcomed one, as he's already starting to cook. Already got a chicken dinner, and they are on their way to the top. That is beautiful stuff from them. And they do have a very good position inside of the play zone, a little bit too edgewise, but it should work based on the rotation patterns of the Weekendi map. You know, all of these teams have strategies, they have play styles, they have, you know, plans that they do put in motion when it comes to, you know, holding up positions. Here you can see 11 and, you know, Temi, you know, gingering the rest of the team there. They are holding compounds. You know, Weekendi is very compound centric as well. If you can hold a compound, if you can hold a split, chances are you will survive, you know, and get good number of eliminations for yourself and for your team. But first up, it's getting dropped one time by the guys from Most Wanted. I think Most Wanted had their best game of the league, you know, in the last game. Yeah, when they did get a couple of eliminations just before, you know, getting sent back into the lobby. Now this might just be another opportunity for them to, you know, to get some points in. First Arctics in danger, but not too much of a danger, as the engagement isn't going to be coming through. It is a long distance one, so you know for a fact that nothing necessarily is going to come out of this one. Right, and very getting that revive on his teammate. The First Arctics are going to live to continue this long distance engagement, that's for sure. But Fox is peeking out window after window, trying to find the best position, you know, to feed his team some ops. So much utilities here. You can't even complain, man. There's med kits everywhere, there's smoke grenades everywhere, there's everything everywhere. Can't really complain about much of anything, really. I've been seeing so many scopes. I remember, you know, there was a time when getting utilities was so difficult, you know, in rooms. You know, I think before they even before I even knew that it was like an advanced room card, an advanced room card thing, and you know you have to get an advanced room card. If not, the normal room card doesn't give you loot, you know, you can't sell it off. So I mean, we've come a long way. Come a really, really long way. Goroka is still the center of attraction here. I don't know why there is no team in Port, just Fugitive Esports. Everyone is ignoring the North. You know, it's so tricky because we don't know how the Weekendi zone tends to move. You know, it can go super, super crazy. But Afro Esports and getting into action with Harsh, that's a beautiful grenade. Might just get to one knockdown, and he does, yeah, his footsteps, and he might just bounce that one across the wall. That's a beautiful grenade, and he might just drop him again. I really thought that grenade was going to do the trick, though, somehow. Doesn't do it. Oh, that's a fantastic one from Neo. And now he tosses the smoke grenade to back end the cover so they will not see him, because he's surely going to climb over that ledge there. and he is going to send towards the guys from Harsh Esports. Neo is doing a fantastic job. 3 eliminations towards the guys from Afro Esports, and they are looking for more. They're cooking right through. Afro Esports, they want it. They want the violence. But Invictus getting caught out again by Afro Esports, and one team after the other. The violence continues. Harsh cut down again to about 3 players, I believe. The violence continues again from Afro Esports. Afro Esports, 2 apiece from Lens and Neo working side by side. Now this is what I love to this is what I love to watch. You know, Afro Esports looking very, very comfortable in their habitat, the engagements, the violence, the terrain play. That is what they love. They love that terrain play for themselves. They know how to navigate, they know how to manage. And you can see Neo is still trying his best to just find a little bit of an angle there against the guys from Harsh Esports. They are in a very good split though, however. You know, they can maintain this just a little bit just a little bit longer. The numbers advantage are there's no numbers advantage actually. It's a 3 versus 3, and Hunter is going to be the next victim of a couple of damage sent his way. I believe that was from a grenade. Fantastic use of utilities there by Neo. Just pop a couple of those smoke grenades down just to you know, keep the ops at bay. That's another fantastic grenade from Neo, but he does have a general idea of the direction he wants to head in, and I think the play here is to swarm the enemy from one position, and I do love this particular strategy where Pete starts to cook, and now that's a beautiful use of the Molotov there just to keep them at bay. Afro Esports now on the chase. They've seen Pete, they've time to peek in. He tags him up a little bit again towards the left hand side, and he is going to get him down. Beautiful play from Neo there, and he's trying to keep the rest of the players at bay from Harsh Esports. Daddy is trying to peek inside and see him. Oh, that's a nice little touch from Neo, cheeky touch, but now Daddy is in danger. He's been spotted, and again he might just be sent back into the lobby again. Fantastic use of the utilities from Neo there. I love the aggression, the violence, the power coming in from Afro Esports, pushing back on the guys from Harsh. Daddy still healing, trying to keep the guys from Afro Esports away from them, trying to chase them behind, but it's not going to work. It is a 3 versus 2 now, and Afro Esports, they look like they're going to take it. Beautiful play from Afro Esports. You can tell what the strategy is over but the DBS is there to the rescue. He does do the trick, and MSK is going to be confirmed here. Now Harsh Esports down to 1 versus 2. It is Daddy. They know of his position. All they're waiting for is for him to peak just a little bit too much, and he will definitely suffer the consequences. Afro Esports not being lenient this time around. Again, Daddy tries the Molotov cocktail, but it doesn't work. Might just end up burning himself. And now the guys from Afro Esports, they can't take the smoke. Beautiful use of the smoke again right there, but then Daddy is still in danger. 1 versus 1. Neo does spot him, but that's a beautiful touch from Daddy. He's going to send Neo back into the lobby almost immediately there. Fantastic CPC ability from Daddy there. It is a 1 versus 1. It is so insane that the guys from Harsh Esports still continue to maintain violence, continue to maintain beauty in this engagement against the guys from Afro Esports. They continue. They do not want to rest. They've taken 1. They've taken 2. They want to take the last player. Harsh soldiers might just be the ones to do it this time around and get the guys from Afro Esports sent back into the lobby. It is a 1 versus 1. It is Daddy versus Hunter to be the last player for the guys from Afro Esports. It is so intense right now because of how important this is for Harsh Esports. You know, it is so important for Harsh Esports to get this W. It's so important because it's not looking too nice for them. And now here he comes. He comes right through. He tries to get the DBS is vicious. DBS from Hunter sends Harsh Esports back into the lobby. That is unfortunate. And once again, the lifeline gets cut short for the guy from Harsh Esports, and they will still remain bottom of the table. But they did do their absolute best to maintain. They did a fantastic job of just holding out for as long as they could, but Afro Esports just got the better hand with that DBS. That is going to be the end for Harsh Esports. Play zone is shrinking. You can see, like I said, I talked about this north. Nobody's there. There is no one in the north. Just Fugitive Esports. Just D14. He is the only one in the north. I don't know why no one else is playing the north, because I feel like that place is it has so many advantages right now. But Fowlplay, You know, they might just get into something with the guys from Goth eSports very, very soon. It looks like there's a possibility for that. But I am interested in seeing how they are going to navigate and manage, you know, the discrepancies in that western zone, that western area. You know, I mean, this is going to be so, it's going to be so easy for Fugitive Esports and for Default to get inside of the next place. It's in the north, so the navigation should be pretty easy from that position. But again, there's 12 teams in the lobby, there's 31 bodies. All these teams are vying to get their hands on that chicken dinner. And I told you guys, back to back today, unlikely, not going to happen. I don't see happening. You know, we've got No Rage Esports getting the first one, now we've got Men of Blood taking, you know, the next one. You know, or however, both of those teams, you know, are in this lobby, they're still alive, but still, you know, it's not looking like a possibility. Afro Esports is being in charge in several eliminations, but they will be stuffed out sooner rather than later. You know, so this game there's a possibility that this might just be the game for Clyde, you know, or First Arctic. It looks like this is one of those games for them. You know, I mean, everything might just work in favor. I can see, you know, First Arctic in the south, you know, Men of Blood as well, still holding out. But they do have 11. Definitely, he is the IGL for the team. You can tell, you know, the way he's leading, the way he's dictating the plays. Using a whole lot of 11 vibes from there. But First Arctics, very, very comfortable in the south. You know, Royal Academy. Wait a minute, when did Royal Academy get 3 eliminations? Who did they get to? Something must have happened. Something must have happened sometime. Unfortunately, I didn't miss it, but I don't know which bodies they caught. But, you know, like I said, these guys know how to perform in high-pressure scenarios, very, very high-pressure scenarios. You know, they know how to perform whenever they have less. They perform less. They perform more with less. You know, and I saw that. I saw the possibility of that, you know. The First Arctic, this is a very, very good position for them. You know, their backs are cleared. They can get any revive they want. No matter how many times they do get knocked out, the revive is going to come through just based off of sheer positioning ability. So I am loving that for them. You know, it's a matter of how long it is going to last. You know, the guys from Royal Academy still maintaining that little bit of a split there, holding out. There are just 2 players left. Now the guys from Men of Blood are you know, picking up something left for. Yes, it was Invictus. Invictus was the team that Royal Academy caught out. Yes, Invictus was the team. Oh, unfortunate scenes for Invictus there. Again, yet another game where they fall short today. I mean, is this like a one-day thing? Such a huge fan. I don't love to see Lil Baby getting eliminated. I don't know watching that. But Men of Blood raging on, with Rage getting a whiff, getting a smell of guys from you know, Royal Academy. Getting some bullets in that direction. Magic is the one that's going to connect a couple of shots towards Smoker there, and now they're going to lead the charge. Lara, the last one up for the guys from Rag. And they are going to be holding around in the Royal Academy getting scored up. But First Arctics are going to pull up to the scene again, trying to get a couple of shots sent in, trying to face Spoiler and third party Central. It might just work out there. Ranax here is going to pull up just closer, edging 1 second. 1 second is all it takes for you to eliminate one body at a time. But again, another body falls through. Unfortunate scenario for the guys from the Royal Academy, as they are going to be sent back into the lobby, but they went out swinging with 3 eliminations in their pocket. So that is good. But you can see level playing Overwatch. They're trying to keep the rest of these guys at bay. Active Gaming somehow still surviving. Skinny. And you know what? We talked about this really. I don't know what happened there, but that's all I can say. And again, Fugitive Esports finally getting called out again, sent back into the lobby. Yet another poor performance for Fugitive Esports. I don't know what is going on with them today. Fugitive and Invictus letting the lead close up. Wow, it's unfortunate. You know, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting the lead to close up at all. No, I was not expecting to. I thought Invictus and Fugitive Esports would keep, that energy and keep the teams at bay. But Fowlplay is going to be confirmed. I sent back into the lobby in 9th place with a beautiful grenade from Team Extreme. And Team Extreme now leading the pack with 5 eliminations to boot. That is the beauty of the game right there. But first Arctics, still a complete squad. And, and I said they had the potential of winning this game. First Arctics. They have a little bit of players to work with. And they might just do the trick. They have Goroka, they've got buildings, they've got a little bit of a high ground position, but the guys from Men of Blood equal to the task as well. Just a little bit north of their position is the guys from Norway eSports as well. Another team. Norway's going to do 2 out of 4. I mean, there's a potential for that to happen. They do have a complete team as well, but Vibe Gaming is also there. Men of Blood is also in the mix. So there's so many ways this could go, There's so many ways it could go. But Team Extreme is also here, but unfortunately it is running the last player up. He's been spotted there by Magic, and the shots might just be raining towards his direction. It's been seen. He might just get uprooted the more he continues to drive, but he somehow, fortunately, is going to make it out of dodge just in the nick of time. And the rotation from him is going to be a very, very good one as he does make a way inside, but no Rage Esports getting a taste of the guys from Goth Esports General. Spotted again. Shot sent towards his way by Alpha. Alpha just too OP with those bullets from his Glacier M416. Now the grenade. He switches his alternative measure of violence. The grenade is the choice this time. Is it going to connect? Fantastic grenade from Alpha there. All he has to do is send another one and he will do the trick. But Solo Esports are in danger as well. They've been spotted and they've been dropped down. And Jags is the one that's going to be down this time around, but the revive is going to be coming through. Goth Esports trying to fight on both fronts. They're fighting in the north, they're fighting in the south, they're fighting all the ops, but now they do not have the play zone. They are hanging by a thread because they are hanging by the edge. The violence continues. They're fighting the guys from No Rage Esports and they're equally fighting the guys from Solo Esports as well. But Team Extreme finally snuffed out there with 6 eliminations. They've been sent back into the lobby, and here comes General. He spots a couple of players from Solo Esports, but the rotation is tighter. It's tighter than a You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. You know what is tighter than. But now the guys from Goth Esports now spotting again. No Rage Esports this time. Alpha C. The shot sent his way from General. They're trying to take the advantage. But now the numbers advantage from the hill side is going to work in favor of No Rage Esports. All they have to do is maintain the violence level. General with a fantastic grenade towards Alpha, but it does not connect. And this might just be the time for him to do the right thing as Alpha gets out of dodge and slows down the play. Orange Esport. You know you can't climb that thing. We've been playing this game a long time. We know for a fact you can't climb those. I don't know why you're trying. But you can tell Alpha has an idea, has a very interesting idea of what he's trying to do. I think you're supposed to hop on the car, then on this ledge, and then on the roof. I think that's what will work. But you can see the guys from Solo Esports creeping in. They're creeping in just slightly there, and I think Top C is going to be knocked down, and they might just use the opportunity to do the trick here. Norwich Esports are in serious trouble though. They are fighting on two fronts, but fortunately for them, they have the numbers advantage, so they can fight as many bodies as they want. Again, beautiful spray from Alpha, and the confirmation will come through there. Solo Esports is serious trouble. India's the last one left. He's hiding behind the tree, hiding from the danger, but then again, the guy from Goth Esports pull up to the scene. I don't know what General was trying to do right there, but he did not do it right as Alpha continues to chase. Spots him, drops him down to his knees, sends him back into the lobby. Too sweet. No time for forgiveness. It is all pure violence, no rage. Raging on. You can see Alpha just trying to get an idea on the rest of the players from Goth Esports. He's charging, but he drops the smokes just to hide and slow down the play towards the rest of his teammates. Deji is still down and knocked away, but the revive, I'm sure, is going to come through if the guys can keep the play zone at bay. No Rage Esports are super comfortable in that position, but for how long is it going to survive? Wait, what is this name? Hape. Yeah, sure, bro. Hape is the name, but he's doing a fantastic job, though. He's aping out. He's sending some shots. Beautiful play from Hape right there. Goth Esports might just decide to take this one against the guys from No Rage. Bodies dropping to the left, right, and center. He tops in. Deji is going to be confirmed. He peeks out to the right-hand side. Drops top G to about 40 HP. It's a 1v1. Goth Esports might just decide to take the 1v3 here against the guys from No Rage Esports. Hape is the one to do it this time around. He wants to take the 1v1 and it is. He taps in. Beautiful play. Beautiful 1v1. CQC at its finest. Goth Esports taking the win. 1 versus 3 from Hape against the guys from No Rage Esports. And No Rage set back there in 5th place. Fantastic play. But now again, Vibe just following suit as well. And here we go. The guys from Men of Blood are the ones who knock. But first Arctics as well. Trying to hold from the south. Trying to get inside of that area of the play zone. Unfortunately, the play zone is squeezing all of these teams left, right, and center, trying to keep them at bay. But again, Active Gaming is still here. Somehow in the top 4, Skinny has been surviving. They have this trick in Sanok, but again, Goth Esports, the last player, is still dealing damage, still being a thorn in their side. First Tactics have now succumbed to the violence there, but 9 eliminations to Men of Blood. They continue to rain hell. They continue to draw blood from all the ops. Magic trying to get an angle there, but Mash is trying to take the 1v1. And the bullets start to ring through. Magic with a beautiful 1v1 ability. You have to love it. They spray to the left and spray to the right, but it's not going to save him. Mash is the one that's going to drop him down and send him back into the lobby. First Arctic trying to get that second elimination, and they get it in grand style. And that is what you call first ability. Again, he taps in. 11 making the mistake of hopping out just a little bit too early there, and he is going to be tagged up by Mash again. And another one goes down. Beautiful play from Goth Esports playing spoiler. Goth Esports and First Arctics working hand in hand, cutting down the players from Men of Blood one after the other. It's going to be insane if the guys from Goth Esports take this. I mean, they have the numbers advantage. I don't see anything stopping them this time around. Goth Esports looking very strong. They're looking stronger by the minute, and they've not had the best games, since yesterday, and now this is going to be the first game, double digits loaded, I believe. Goth Esports, beautiful play coming in. Hape is the one with 7 eliminations. He has to be the MVP after he's been eliminating teams left, right, and center. But take a look at Active Gaming, though. Skinny is the last one up. He's holding out these positions 1 versus 3 and 1 versus 1 apiece. And it looks like Active Gaming, they might just decide to play this a little bit slower just for the time being. Skinny is making no moves. He's taking no chances. He might just be the spoiler. He might just be the thorn in the side of the guys from Goth Esports.
I have missed a lot in this game so far, but coming in at the right time, we're seeing 11 putting in the work right there as he does get knock after knock. Here's the last guy, but he will go down to the zone. Chris, what an amazing game, and it's looking like Goth Esports might be the guys to take on this one. Or is Skinny going to come into this position just in time? Can he do a 1v2 if they're able to get this revive back? It's all down to very slim margins, but right there, the boys from Goth Esports are looking and itching to grab that winner chicken dinner.
If Skinny wins this, then GG's. He has to be the best. Oh, he tags him down to about 1 HP. He might just do it. Skinny is the man. Skinny is the lead and the legend, but he makes the mistake of popping Molotov cocktail. The Molotov cocktail was his undoing.
Yeah.
The Molotov was his undoing. He had this in the bag. He had it in the bag. Why did you switch to the Molotov cocktail, fam? Why?
Sometimes in life, situations like this just, yeah. It was so close. So close. One small drop shot, he would have won that game. But anyways.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot about Skinny. He was just chilling. That dude was just chilling. But then again, I've seen Active Gaming do this. I've seen Active Gaming do this in the candy, time and time again, back to back. I've seen them do it. Use one player to survive to the end, and sometimes they win. And I was about to see again Skinny this time around. I believe Ernest was the one in his ear, surely, telling him what exactly to play and how to maintain that position, because throughout the whole thing that was going on, Skinny was just chilling. That dude was just like, yeah, I'm just chilling, bro. I mean, yeah, go off. Yeah, the rest of you, go off. I'm just chilling, bro. The rest of you, go off. I'm just chilling, bro.
Sometimes the best decision is to just calm down, take things easy, and continue to, push in for that final. But looking at Goth Esports, look at the amount of kills right there going to Goth. I mean, how do you pronounce this? Is it Apex or Apex?
I don't even know. I was calling him Hate because I'm not even sure. When these players choose their names, they're not thinking about us. They don't think about us when they are choosing their names. They don't care. And because I'm not sure, is it Apex? I guess it is Apex because I'm guessing that's what I'm going to be calling him, Apex. Nice one, nice creativity. Fantastic play from him, though. I think he won versus 3, the guys from Norwich Esports, and he was absolutely fantastic, keeping the rest of those teams at bay. But then again, Men of Blood, again, with 11 eliminations. More points to Men of Blood. More points. Once again, after a chicken dinner, 11 eliminations. I mean, that tells you a lot of fire. What does that tell you, though?
Yeah, absolutely. They do look like a team that has been rejuvenated. Standing in with 11 in the team, he does seem like the guy who is getting those knocks and continuing to push them forward. And as you can see in the games that has been played so far, there just seems to be something new, something bright about them, something about the body language that is just pushing them to get those eliminations, and that's exactly what they're doing in this game. We'll see if they can keep that up going into what I believe is our final game of the night, and we'll see how that one actually does work out for them. I do believe this is going to be Miramar, right?
Yeah, definitely going to be Miramar, but Goth Esports as well. I didn't expect them, to have their first best game tonight. That's for sure. But then again, it's Vikendi. You can't always be surprised in Vikendi. Everything in Vikendi is surprising. I mean, you can look at Men of Blood there tapping in, damage across the board. Even Extreme Violence, they get some numbers on the board with about 6 eliminations. They did get taken out, a little bit earlier there. They did go out there in 8th place, but then again, Afro Esports was also there taking out and getting some points on the board. So yes, once again, we talk about this, it is still consistent. Everyone is eating good, points are going around. Points are going around in every single game. There is no discrepancy between the point system, and the performance rating of most of these teams. I mean, every single team here is eating. Maybe Active Gaming didn't eat in the elimination, brackets, but they still got some points. Some points did go around. It is Fugitive Esports fire. Fugitive Esports, what is wrong with them, though? What is happening to Fugitive Esports today?
I think sometimes it's just nerves. Sometimes it might just be the rest of the teams just boosting and playing a lot better than they did in the first day. Sometimes that happens, and you never really know, what to expect. But we'll see. We'll see. This final game might just be their day. You never know. But as long as they continue to grab those little points here and there on the overall leaderboard, I mean, they might still have something. So we'll see what that means for them.
Yeah, it's very interesting though, because Men of Blood here is leading the pack significantly with at least 10 points, and that is fantastic. And I believe that is the work of 11 in the feed. 11 is feeding them. He is the chef. He is the one that is cooking. He is the one that is doing every single thing that he needs to do. And he's doing it at the right exact time. Look at the points difference. And it's so crazy because Fugitives and Invictus started the day on top. They started today on top. They're at the bottom of the leaderboard today. PUBG will humble you. It will humble you. There is no joy in the streets. No joy in the street at all. There is absolutely no joy in the street. But, it says a lot. It says a lot. It says a lot.
Yeah, definitely. This game is, one where you cannot remove your foot off that pedal. Once you do, other teams are getting ready to eat your dinner. So, I guess we'll take a quick break. We'll be back for some more action on our last map so far. Do remember to hit that like and hit that subscribe, and we'll catch you in a couple of moments.
Yes, y'all. It is your boy Priest, and again, welcome to the West African Pro League. I am here with my main man Fire, and this is brought to you by 3 Crown Esports, Violence upon Violence, and again, a little taste of that prize pool money, 3,500 USD. Fire. We are in the senior league, and this is day 2, and this is going to be the final game. Are you pumped, Fire? Because I just saw some crazy stuff from Goth Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing every single one of these teams just step it up in the senior league, and that's exactly what you do expect. One moment it is the boys from Solo Esports popping, the next moment it is Invictus, and then the next is Fugitive Esports, and then maybe it's Afro, and now in the last game we saw the boys from Goth Esports. So you never really know where the action is going to come from because all of these guys are lighting it up. And now in the Miramar game, it's going to be a little bit different. We'll see some early action, and then we'll have to wait a little bit. And then all of a sudden, when you least expect, we'll start seeing vehicles just blowing up.
It's really a matter of, like I said, I always support high ground movements, always maintaining the high ground, high positions, so you can have a visual, idea on where all your ops are hiding if you want to play Miramar. A whole lot of vehicles, a whole lot of dips, hips, and all those plays. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to play the best. We've got 3 different games with 3 different chicken dinner winners. But Men of Blood have been super consistent the entire day from the first game into the third. They have maintained their energy, and you can't even deny it is because of 11, the newest addition to the Men of Blood team. It looks like he's the one that brought the stove, he brought the gas cooker, he came to cook all the ops, and it looks like it's working out just well for the guys from Men of Blood.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of working out, let's take a look at the game so far. As we're seeing that map pretty much just move towards that eastern region as it is moving all the way towards that Los Louis and Impala region, leaving out several different places such as El Pozo, Trailer Park, and Ruins for teams to be able to rotate towards. This does mean a lot of those teams will be quite clustered together in the beginning of this game, Priest. Do you think that is going to turn things around? We're going to see a lot of early fights, Priest, in this particular one as the zone is pretty much just moving towards that eastern region as the flight path.
The flight path is heavily southern. All those teams that do love to play from the south, this is going to be an advantage to the rest of them and to many of them, depending on how the play zone is going to reveal itself as we go on. But it is very good. No one is landing on anyone just yet. I think everyone is getting a little bit of space to play in. No one getting caught out. I hope the guys from Solo Esports and Fowlplay don't get into a squabble at the academy again like we saw yesterday, because I saw that happen yesterday and the guys from Fowlplay got bodied once again. But I think this time around, they are going to be surviving. Unfortunately, I think we are missing one team. I'm not sure what team that is just yet, but I think it might even be the guys from Solo Esports. I think, they're actually here. But I'm not sure what team we're missing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what team that is, but let's still focus on a lot of the teams that are already beginning to get into the action right there. As we do see the boys from Hab, who are very notorious for getting into those early fights, now getting into a skirmish right there with the boys from Extreme. But Sean X is having none of that, as he does get another knock right there. Turns his sights onto Shad, who's able to provide that defense for his team and take him out. You can see Shad holding on 3 kills to his name, being the powerhouse and the leader for his team when it comes to getting those eliminations quite early on in this particular game right there. Great job going in for the boys from Habitual, as they're able to continue to be a dominant force in this game.
Whatever Shad is on, I want some of that. I want some of that, because that was a beautiful performance, from Habitual Gaming. And I saw them, like I kept talking about Habitual Gaming, how good they've been getting over the past couple of weeks. I made a comment about it, even in the junior league. Towards the end of the junior league, they started to step up. They started to show their colors and show their, their abilities. And on day one, yesterday, when I saw their performance, they are one of those adaptive teams. They take their time to adapt to the lobby, and then they learn. And that is the beauty of Habitual Gaming. Fantastic stuff, coming in from them. 4 eliminations right out the gate. They've lost 1 player, but it doesn't mean anything. They know exactly what they're trying to do. Get some points in quick. They've been doing that all day, getting points very, very quickly as the game begins. I think that is the strategy for Bio. Get points early.
I think everything is going to work for you, especially when you know that kill points are what matters in a situation like this. So you want to, as much as possible, be getting those kills. But right now, turning our sights onto the boys from Men of Blood. Look at this one right here. They are in a 3-way fight going in between Fugitives, Vibe Gaming, and the boys right there from MOB. I definitely don't want to be the boys from Vibe Gaming in this particular situation, because look at how they have been sandwiched in this position, coming up with Men of Blood and Fugitives. They're pretty much in that center, and I don't know how do you get out of a position like this?
Well, the only way to get out of a position like this is to not get out of a position like this. You have to stay there. You stay there, don't come out, don't even pick the windows. Unless the guys from Men of Blood want all the smoke. You see what I said? Don't come outside. Do not come outside. You can see Yuri is already peeking out from the right-hand side. They're trying to get, a little bit of a taste of what Iceman is cooking there. Again, stand and shoot. Vibe is in serious trouble here. 11 peeks inside again. Tries to get a couple of shots in with that M249. Might just do the trick. Tries to put the grenade again. Beautiful grenade from 11 there. Might just connect, but it doesn't connect this time around. And again, a piece of beautiful use of, the... What is it called? This is cover, but there's something they call this. I think it's called flash. Flashing your barrel, and that is beautiful. But no, overwhelming ability from the guys from Men of Blood as they take yet another body back into the lobby. Iceman trying to run for his life with a VSS. What a crazy weapon combination. Is that not a Winchester? A Winchester and a VSS fire. Have you ever seen yourself with this combo?
Yeah, it usually is the devil's work when the devil wants you to get lobbied, so he gives you rubbish weapons, and that's exactly what's happening, because I don't see him doing anything, absolutely nothing, with the VSS CQC close range. Usually a VSS would be one of those guns you would take on if you want to surprise your enemy from a bit of a distance, and they're not able to tell where exactly the shots are coming from. But in a CQC situation, it's absolutely useless. It's very slow when it comes to the sprays and all that. It's just a CQC right there. The outcome was him getting knocked down.
But well, for me, actually, the VSS is my favorite. Is my favorite long-range weapon, because when I slap a cheek pad on it, man, it's insane. Because I think it's the only weapon in the game that doesn't, have any gun registers on the map, So, but then again, I believe this is a hardcore lobby, so no gun registers at all, But then again, there's no sound. It makes no sounds as well, So I love the VSS just for that capability. It is the only gun that makes no sound. at all, even when you shoot it. So anyone can get, if you get knocked by VSS, trust me, you will never know what happened to you. You will never know, especially if the feed, the kill feed doesn't even pop up in time, or it phases, the corner of your eye. You don't see, you have no idea what has happened to you. You just see yourself on the ground. I've used the gun so many times to tell you that it is such a surprise, just like sense. So it's a surprise weapon. Super surprise weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, for me, the way I'll put it is this. It's a good long range, close range. Nah, definitely not going to even give it 1 ounce of thoughts right there. But anyways, let's see how things are currently situated within the zone right here. As you can see, everyone's gearing up to grab those kills as much as they can before they move into the next phase. But we just got to say, the boys from Fowlplay, all the way in Picado right now, not too far away from the boys from Solo Esports. So we might keep an eye onto that one, as the two of them are just lurking around each other, waiting for who will make that first mistake for the next one to pounce onto. But other teams are just pretty much lurking around outside the zone. We got the boys from Invictus somewhere around, I do believe that is Chumacera, as well as the boys from MOB, who we just saw as well. Turning the sides onto Deji and his boys around Los Loans. They have an edge of that zone, so they'll be looking to rotate in, and Smoker and his boys are also coming in from that region, or towards that region around Minas or La Bendita. So yeah, a lot of teams are coming in from that southern region, and it does look like we're going to see a lot of fights around that spot.
Yeah, that's how the region is going to be kicked off, especially with the way the play zone is already starting to navigate. But then we are settled in Pecado, and I did not see this. I did not even notice. I thought Fowlplay were going to be alone in Pecado once again, but I saw them get decimated by Solo Esports with a fantastic play yesterday. Eliminating them without breaking a single sweat. They did. I believe that was Floyd yesterday. They didn't use Floyd, but that was a sacrifice for the 4 points that they took out of the guys from Fowlplay yesterday in Pecado. And Fowlplay, they do make the mistake of not pressing the advantage, and they do not call the plays in the engagements again. Again, Floyd is going to be spotted by LB. There might just be knocked very, very soon, if he doesn't find a very, very good position to hold there. I hope he's very careful, because LB does have an idea on his position, and Shah is all the way out there in the left trying to play the free man. So he has to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be careful in these situations. But now, also on the kill feed, we're now seeing the boys from Active Gaming coming up against the boys from Most Wanted right there. Skinny has got his HP really low, but Wandelf is having none of that. He's continuing to put in the onslaught right there. So he's looking to see if he can grab himself another knock onto the boys from Active Gaming, but Skinny does go down and will be confirmed in this particular fight right here, as the boys from Most Wanted are continuing their onslaught. Anis is not too close to this particular one, as he isn't able to get that knock onto Wandelf. But what a fight coming on between these two guys, as you can see the boys from Most Wanted trying as much as possible to see if they can get a revenge onto the boys from Active Gaming. Remember, in the San game, it was Active Gaming who took them out.
Nurse is going to be pulled up there, but unfortunately his HP just continues to dwindle with each body he decides to drop. It's an unfortunate scenario for him because of the numbers advantage. Wandofi again tried to spot it down, but Nurse is fighting back with everything he got. But 1 versus 1, he drops a second. Beautiful play from Nurse right there. Active Gaming just might clutch this one. It is a 1 versus 2. It is actually a 1 versus 1 right now, because the revive has not come through just yet. But this grenade might just be the end for the guys from Active Gaming. Beautiful grenade right there that doesn't do the trick. Fox is getting the revive done, and this is just going to be so tricky. Yes, it is a 1 versus 2. It is a possibility. A couple of shots being sent again by Ness right there might just connect, but Fatboy is trying to play free man. He is trying to play from the left hand side, and he is going to be spotted again. And Ness knows the play. He knows how to call the play. He's ready for him. He spotted him a couple of times, but it's not going to work. He tries the first drop, but it's not going to work again, as Fatboy sends him back into the lobby. Active Gaming eliminated early once again.
Great work coming in right there from the boys from Most Wanted as they take out the boys from Active Gaming quite early on in this one. Active Gaming going down in 14th place. They tried as much as possible to keep themselves in this game, but at the end of the day, it will be the boys from Active Gaming who will be going back into the lobby. So taking a look at the zone right there, we do see the boys from Habitual sitting quite in a central spot, as well as the boys from Raid. Deji and his boys inching closer and closer towards that position in around San Martin and Graveyard. We're also seeing Invictus, who have not had quite the day as they had yesterday, coming in from all the way from that western region, not too far from Vibe Gaming as well. But there's still Fowlplay as well as the boys from Solo Esports, who are just lurking around each other. I do believe they've taken out one of the players from Solo Esports. As you can see, one of the eliminations sitting down with Fowlplay, as well as one of the players lost from Solo Esports. So I'm going to assume, Priest, that one of the players from Solo Esports has been sent packing.
Yeah, most likely Floyd. It is Floyd. This happened exactly the same way yesterday. You know, Floyd did get spotted out by one of the players from Fowlplay. It wasn't LB though. I think it was Shy. Did get spotted yesterday, but then Solo Esports were actually the victorious ones in Pecado yesterday. So, you know, it's still going to require a lot from Fowlplay if they're going to eliminate the guys from Solo Esports. It's going to require a whole lot from them. You know, they have to have a plan. They're already on the right path. They already have the numbers advantage. They brought 4 players up. Solo Esports has 3, so you know what I mean. All it takes is just the consistency levels at this point. But then San Martin is the place to be. The hills on San Martin, that is where you want to be right now for sure. But now the guys from Fowlplay making the right call, trying to ambush Samurai in a 2 versus 1. Lone Wolf catches Doctor off guard from behind. LB and his teammate trying to climb upstairs and eliminate one of the players again for the guys from Solo Esports. Solo are in danger, cutting one after the other. LB switches again to that his beautiful S12K as he used, you know, that to eliminate someone. The beautiful use of the S12K there sends another one packing. Samurai, the next one to go this time around. Fowlplay have found what they've been looking for. And now he's left to Diaz.
Solo Esports not having quite the greatest time in this lobby against the boys from Fowlplay, as they are down to just the last guys left in dash to try as much as possible to keep them in this particular game, as 3 of his players have been eliminated and sent back in, as the boys from Fowlplay are currently on the hunt. They want that last kill. Every kill matters in this particular game, and they're not letting anyone out of their sights. But for now, it does seem like the boys from MOB are rotating around them, and they got to be careful. They got to get themselves into good spots and not get caught off guard.
You definitely do not get caught off guard. You know, and I said it earlier that San Martin is the place to be. The hills of San Martin, that is where you want to be right now. And I think it's only Afro Esports that has that idea. You know, Afro Esports and the guys from Habitual Gaming, I believe they have that idea in the back of their minds. But Men of Blood have been spotted out now, and it's dangerous because Magic is the one that's going to be knocked. And Yuri is spotted again, dropped down by D14. Fugitive Esports, it looks like they've caught themselves. Finally, they've got themselves back in the game. Finally, they've got themselves ready for that Vawlence. Beautiful play from Fugitive Esports. And again, Fowlplay, putting the nail in the coffin towards the guys from Men of Blood. And here we go. Now the point difference is going to be cut short. Men of Blood eliminated very, very early.
And if you're looking to climb up the leaderboard, this is exactly what you need to be doing quite early on in the game, taking out your rivals like the boys from Men of Blood quite early on, and that's exactly what is happening right here. Not having quite an interesting game in Miramar as they've had in the previous days, but will the points that they've gathered up today be enough for them overall on the leaderboard? We'll see what that means after the game is done. But now turning the sights onto several different teams who are making the rotations. It is the boys from Fowlplay who are sitting down with 4 eliminations in this game and still holding on the full squad. Now turning the sights onto the boys from Fugitives. Will they be able to get on another elimination? We will see how that one goes down. But they're currently in a mood to continue to farm. But there's also Invictus who has something to say about it.
Esports have been very, been very quiet throughout today. But finally, I think they've finally put their foot on the gas, and now they have an idea of how they want to play this, and looks like the plan is working. They already have 5 eliminations to boot. So it looks like they might just be maintaining that top spot, that first position. looks like there's a chance that that might just be working out for them by the end of the leaderboard, today. But then I am interested, in seeing Invictus as well, because Invictus is a complete team right here, and they do have a little bit of an angle inside of the play zone. So I think they should be able to work, with that area. If the guys from RAG do not get to them first, but Most Wanted, after the last game that we had in Vikendi, I'm hoping to see more action from them. They're already down to a two-man team, but unfortunately, due to that engagement with the Nest from Active Gaming, But then, what is the start? What is the play? What is the play to make here, though, Fire? In scenarios like this, if you're Invictus, you've had a shitty day. Your day has just been ass. Nothing has been working, but finally, there's 11 teams in the lobby. There's 33 bodies in the game, and now you have a complete team. What will you do differently?
In situations like this, nerves are some of the most important things to you, right? You're coming up against several different fights, and you keep on shooting, and sometimes it's just going against you. You're just losing your 1v1s. You're losing those fights. What you want to be doing in situations like this is to try as much as possible to stay away from as much fights as you can until you absolutely have to continue to grab those points and build your confidence slowly. Work as a team. Go into fights rather than going into fights, individually go into fights as a team. So that gives you the better chance of, getting the eliminations. That way you can slowly begin to build that confidence back and then begin to be a bit more reckless, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, we call it reckless, but you may call it reckless, but I call it violence, because that's what I'm advocating for. Violence is the name of the game. Violence is the question. Yes, is the answer. Solo esports down to their last leg, and I believe that is in Diags, the last player, trying to keep their flag flying high, but the play zone is hot on his heels, is chasing him, and he is on the run. Might just run into the guys from Habitual Gaming there. If he's not careful enough, they might just be the thorn in his side. They might just be the final nail in his coffin. But Habitual Gaming somehow rotate beautifully inside of the play zone, and now they've got Invictus behind them. This might just be the opportunity for Death Fury to do the needful, but Afro eSports is here as well, tagging. A couple of shots being sent through. I don't know who that is. That is Packboy, actually, spotted by Swags. Sent a couple of shots. Might just have to blow him up, but no. Just right. He's just right away from the vehicle. Just a couple of inches away to use it for cover. Beautiful play coming from Packboy there.
Afro eSports trying as much as possible to see if they can get those eliminations, but take a look at that NDX, who was the last player for Solo eSports, being a Trojan horse right there, as he does get another elimination, as we saw right there on the kill feed. And now the boys from Afro eSports, who are currently saying now a full man squad in this one. There are only about 4 teams who still got a full squad. Royal eSports, Invictus, Afro eSports, and no Rage. So we'll see what that means for them as we continue to build up into the next stage of the zone. We're moving into that 6th stage, and Mirama is so huge, Priest, that sometimes you don't really know when the zone has caught up with you.
Yeah, you can easily get overwhelmed by the play zone. But then again, I'm loving the position from Afro eSports. This is the kind of game that they like to win. This is the kind of position they love to play from. Most Wanted are seriously struggling though, because Fatboy is the last one up again. Most Wanted are not having the best of games, but this is a better performance from what they had yesterday. I believe they have some significant points in the boost, and Harsh eSports is the team so far. I believe that has to have done the bulk of the work to get themselves out of the bottom of the leaderboard. So the leaderboard by the end of today is going to paint us a pretty clear picture on how the day went. It was pretty balanced for me though, but Solo eSports are still here, still trying to put some points on the board. Now, Solo eSports had a better performance yesterday than they did today. They still put some points on the board, but still, Harsh eSports have just not been able to wow me today, unfortunately. And I think they should go back to the drawing board and get an understanding of what this lobby is.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of understanding how the lobby is, as you said about some solo esports need to do a bit more on that one. But that player right there, and the Axe is continuing to push in right there and get those kills. But turning the sights onto the boys from Invictus, you can see right there another knock or confirmation or elimination coming in for Titan, our boy right there from Invictus. Remember, you spoke about it, Invictus, yesterday, being the boys who were getting elimination upon elimination in that particular one, and we see India's getting taken out. I was hoping he would stay quite longer, but other teams are not having any of that, as Invictus currently sitting out with 3 kills, most wanted with 3. Speaking about most wanted, I do think that they are down to just the last guy, Priest, but it's a very tough one. All of these guys in the lobby have been touched, have been hurt, and it's all down to very little moments. Who do you think is going to take this one home so far?
Well, based off of the vibe, because it's all about vibes right now, and Afro eSports is looking very vibey, but then Fugitive eSports are on a rampage, 10 eliminations. They've gone into the kitchen, they've gone to cook. Fugitive eSports finally putting their foot on the gas and tearing the lobby limb from limb, but Pintua gets a taste of the guys from Afro eSports, and Swags is going to be knocked down. Swags is back, but he is going to taste a couple of bullets to the head. But again, the players are shifting away toward the eastern side and putting the guys on Afro eSports into some serious danger. But LB is there. Beautiful use of the cover there. That is what you call hopping out of the bush to eliminate your ops. Beautiful play from Fowlplay as they just catch a couple of bodies and send them back into the lobby, and that is what I love to see.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff coming in right there from all of these guys. You can see Fatboy trying as much as possible to keep the boys from Afro eSports at bay. But now, we spoke about this early on, right? If your confidence is not quite up, you got to be moving as a team rather than trying as much as possible to get those solo situations or those clutches that look quite good when it comes to montages, but sometimes it's not quite great for the team to continue to grab those points. But just look at Fugitives right there, sitting now with 12 kills to their name. They're looking quite strong in this one. They still got about 11. They still got about 3 players in this particular game. They got themselves 12 kills. Coming up against the boys from Afro eSports, it might be tough as they do not have the numbers, but now they've eliminated Invictus. Arrow has continued on his onslaught, and this is looking like the boys from Fugitives want to continue to grab on to that #1 spot.
Double-digit numbers. Fugitives have been having a terrible day, but they are about to redeem themselves with one fell swoop, with one swell game. I mean, there's a possibility here that they might even do 20 eliminations. They're reading all the violence. Harsh eSports finally getting a taste of some violence there and sending one of the players from Goth eSports, and I believe that is Ziggy, back into the lobby, and General and Apex, the last 2 up on the guys from Goth eSports after their fantastic performance in Vikendi that we just saw. Unfortunately, this one done the heavy there because what is going on? Finally, Arrow succumbs to his injuries there, sent back into the lobby by the guys from Afro eSports. And just like I told you, Afro eSports, this is the kind of game that they like. 2 versus 1 is not going to work. He knocks the first, but he's not going to knock the second, but his teammate is there for the rescue. And Harsh eSports doing the Lord's work to get some points for themselves. Finally, some good numbers for the guys from Harsh eSports. They're all the way up, but Fugitive eSports, 14 eliminations, and it looks like they are counting. But again, the guys from Afro just have the sheer will, sheer numbers, and I told you they love to play from that position. This is the kind of game they like to win. Afro eSports are not to be trifled with. 7 eliminations to them. I do not think they're going to catch up to the guys from Fugitive eSports, but the chicken dinner, it looks so tasty for them right now.
Afro eSports hanging on to this game by the neck. You can see Lance and his boys looking to grab home that winner chicken dinner, but they got to be careful because all of these teams are, one knock coming in from maybe a Hash eSports could open up this game so far, and the boys from Fugitives might be looking to then pounce on. So they got to be careful. They got to keep on working as a team. They got to, make sure they're getting those eliminations, but being absolutely smart about it. That net going in from Swags toward that position where Daddy is at is not able to do anything any damage, but you can see him continuing to throw in those mollies, looking for that right moment. We'll see how this one continues to play out. Now, one of the players for Fugitives goes down to Osiris, and Fugitives that was looking like they were going to take this game home, and now down to one player, Priest.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of the Trojan horse right there. Rag being the Trojan horse team again. One is going to try his best, but he is going to be dropped down by Swags there. Swags is a fantastic CQC player, and he shows us why. But now is not the time to get knocked at all. The unfortunate scenario there, as another one is shot down again. Swags with a beautiful spray gets the first knock and the confirmation through. Again, Neo is going to hop back behind cover there just to save himself the embarrassment of receiving those bullets, but the Molotov is starting to cook. It cooks daddy. Daddy can't be asking who's your daddy right now, because everybody knows that he's getting cooked. But finally he makes a way inside of the play zone just to hold the northern position. But here comes Afro Esports chasing. They're chasing every single bullet that they hear, every single sound from the audio cues. Again, the Molotov comes right through. Everybody in Afro Esports is a chef right now, because they're starting to cook. Now, I think they're up to 9 eliminations at this point, and the numbers continue to climb. Oh, beautiful play coming in from Afro Esports. They're spread all the way across the board. There is no way that they do not take this chicken dinner. Everything is lined up perfectly for them. Harsh Esports are doing their absolute best, but the numbers advantage to Afro Esports is uncanny right now.
And absolutely, it would take nothing short of a miracle for any of the teams from Royal Academy to Harsh Esports to grab this game home. The boys from Afro Esports currently in now with a full squad right there. They've got boys like Swag who are ready to take this game home. All they got to do is just wait. Be absolutely patient. They've got a spot within the zone, and they don't have to make any move so far. They just need to let the zone do what it needs as we move on to not the 8th but the 9th stage in the game. And all they have to do is just be patient, because Daddy has got to make his move. And you can see right there, Swaz getting that elimination. It's now on the side until Osiris, who has boosted his team all the way into that second spot. And just as we said it is the boys from Afro grabbing that winner with a chicken dinner, as well as the 10 eliminations.
Beautiful, fantastic stuff from Afro Esports. I mean, I saw it already. I saw it midway point of the game, when they had the western side on that lock and key. I knew that for a fact. This is what they love to play. If you watch Afro Esports, from the junior league to this point, Miramar, especially when they do not run into teams like the Citizens early on, or any of those teams that that play the exact same style of play, terrain play in Miramar, coming in from that southern side. But again, they maintained that position, and they had play zone. They had the play zone. A couple of times in the first 3 zones, they made those navigations from the north as well. So every single time they made a rotation, it was very, very valid, especially the time that they eliminated the last player for most wanted, and they navigated inside of the play zone from that position. It started to work in their favor. I saw it already. I said, "Yup, this is how the guys from Afro Esports love to play." But Fugitives were insane.
Absolutely good work for them. I mean, for today, I saw what you spoke about when it comes to the action that they had yesterday. I missed that game, and it was really painful, but I had to get some work. But then I saw Arrow go guns blazing so far, getting knock after knock. I thought they were going to get the winner with a chicken dinner, but you still had the Trojan horse from Osiris getting a knock onto one of the players and just taking and reducing their numbers as they continue to bleed in that final spot. And Afro Esports played it quite smartly, took out the boys from Harsh Esports, and continue to just hold a spot within that zone and squeeze out the game. And that's tells in their overall tally of kills that they got, as well as the chicken dinner.
Yeah, it did say a lot about the play style, about the rest of these teams, because you can see, from the stats that you have in front of you, Fugitive Esports and Habitual Esports sincerely dominated the entire lobby. Fowlplay did get caught out earlier on, and Habitual Gaming as well. But Habitual Gaming have been impressive today, though. I won't even lie. They've been doing the same thing for all the games today, getting points early. They do not survive, the longest, but they make sure they get some points in the bag, and that is the beauty of Habitual Gaming. Their play style. We can see for a fact that it has been working. Today they've gathered at least 20 points, I believe, and that is enough. That is But that's a very, very good one to get for yourself if you're trying to go that route, if you're trying to use that style. This particular game, though, it still gives us the same vibe, from the rest of the other games that we saw prior to this one. Points going out to every single team, but the leaderboard is going to give us an idea of how Men of Blood have still continued to keep the chokehold on.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff from the boys from Men of Blood today, as they got themselves 45 points overall, and the boys from Goth Esports coming in that second spot, as well as the boys from Afro Esports with 28 points in that third spot. So great stuff from all of these teams. It is quite different from the overall we saw yesterday, but we got to note that the boys from Fugitives continue to push up on the overall leaderboard with 22 points from today's games.
Yeah, Fugitive Esports definitely having the leaderboard on a maniacal chokehold right now, because the points do be pointing, and it is pointing towards the top for Fugitive Esports. Unfortunately, Invictus just couldn't match that energy. I do believe that Men of Blood is going to be topping them after today's performances. But I'm not entirely sure. That math is not for me right now. But impressive play coming in from the guys from New Age Esports and Fowlplay. But Afro Esports finally finding a way to catapult themselves into the top 3 to finish very, very strongly today. After the performance that they had so far. But unfortunately, Most Wanted, Active Gaming, Harsh Esports, they did not come in clutch. I was expecting a whole lot more from them. But like I said, this one just choked them. And but tomorrow, I believe, more teams, brand new teams tomorrow. Brand new teams that you're not seeing. The vibe is going to be different. I'm talking about Apex. I'm talking about 21st Century. Those guys, the main guy, the big guns. We're going to be seeing the big guns tomorrow. So I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen. Is Apex going to do the Apex thing again and get like 100 points, or are people going to step up to them and say, no, we've had enough? Back to center.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how that one goes out and plays out for the boys from Apex and 21 tomorrow. And I do believe even the boys from 03 as well. And we'll see.
No, bro. Those niggas didn't qualify. 03 didn't qualify, bro. 03 Jana, Jana. Stay up to date, man. Stay up to date, bro.
Okay. I missed that one. In my mind, I just did not see them not qualifying. But anyways, all right. So we'll see how 21 and the boys from Apex do tomorrow. Bring the. But how did that? Okay. Anyways, we'll discuss about that offline.
Yeah,
because I just didn't see how that happened. Anyways, yeah. So
ladies and gentlemen, it is the West African Pro League, day 2, and tomorrow is going to be day 3. It is going to be fun, and I'll bring you guys the action same time tomorrow. But from this is from the studio. We are heading out tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you tomorrow, same time. Peace out.